surprising is already happening.
No.
Alexa tells a 10-year-old girl.
I've lived in ignorance for weeks.
Alexa tells a 10-year-old girl to touch a live plug with a penny.
Shut up.
Amazon has updated its Alexa voice assistant after it challenged a 10-year-old girl to touch a coin to the prongs of a half-inserted plug. The suggestion came after the girl asked Alexa for a challenge to do. Plug in a phone charger about halfway into the wall outlet, then touch a penny to the exposed prongs, the smart speaker said. Amazon said it fixed the error as soon as the company became aware of it. The girl's mother, Kristen Livdahl, described the incident on Twitter. She said, "We were doing some physical challenges like laying down and rolling over holding a shoe on your foot from physical education teacher on YouTube earlier. Bad weather outside. She just wanted another challenge. That's when the Echo speaker suggested partaking in the challenge that it had found on the web." So it's doing that thing of, I don't know the answer to that, but I found this on the web. I mean, come on. The dangerous activity known as the Penny Challenge began circulating on TikTok and other social media websites about a year ago, because of course it did. Metals conduct electricity, and inserting them into live electrical sockets can cause electric shocks, fires, and other damages. I know you can lose fingers, hands, arms. The Michael Klusker, station manager at Carlisle East Fire Station, told the newspaper, the outcome from this is that someone will get seriously hurt. The mother said she intervened as Alexa was saying that, yelling, "No, Alexa, no." Like a dog.
Right?
No, Alexa. Whack with the
Bad
newspaper.
Alexa.
However, she said her daughter was too smart to do something like that. Thank the Lord. But Amazon told the BBC it's updated Alexa to prevent the assistant from recommending such activity in the future. I mean, yikes.
Listen, I'm just going to say it could have been bad, but I really feel like this may have been like the lesser of a bad challenge Alexa could have given. Can you imagine, do you have a garbage disposal? Put your hand down your sink and turn on the light switch. You know what I mean? Fill up your tub halfway and drop your toaster into the tub.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. It could have ended in death.
It could have.
Kind of thing. So I mean, it's. I think it's right up there.
But
with the toaster
chances are it would have just been a really good shock.
Oh gosh.
Whereas there's no coming back from getting your hand in the garbage disposal.
That's true. Yeah.
But
quit making me
sitting
picture
here
it.
thinking, as you were saying that she advised Alexa not to give what was it? Not to give. Anyway, I'm just sitting here thinking, what are other things that Alexa could tell somebody to do?
That Amazon said it won't do this anymore. Yeah, but can they? They'd have to turn off the "I found this on the web" thing. Period.
Yeah.
In order to stop them from that kind of stuff in the future. So yeah, I mean, I don't know what to do there. I don't know how they're gonna fix that. Oh gosh, this one makes me sad. There's a doctor who is no longer allowed to practice after branding patients' livers with his initials. Mo's face is priceless. A doctor in the UK has been removed from the country's medical register for branding patients' livers with his initials. The incidents occurred in February and August of 2013 when Simon Bramhall used a surgical device to write his initials on transplanted livers at the end of 2 surgeries. The 1.6-inch initials were discovered by another doctor when the organ transplanted by Bramhall failed after about a week. In 2017, Bramhall pleaded guilty and was convicted of 2 counts common assault, according to documents from the UK's Medical Practice Tribunal Service, which hears complaints against doctors and determines if they are fit to practice. He was fined £10,000 and sentenced to community service. Bramhall has resigned from his job. Let's see here. He's been suspended from practicing, but only for 5 months. He was suspended in 2020 for practicing for only 5 months. But I'm assuming he's having a bit of a hard time finding another another job. Look, so, I mean, come on.
That's awful.
I mean, it's like signing your work. You're
I will
saving
say,
a life. It's a
no.
liver transplant. I just
No.
saved your life. Matt was WUZ here.
I will say that honestly has always been kind of a fear of mine with every surgery that I've ever had, or, you know, every medical procedure I've ever had. Like, are they going to do something crazy? Because I'll never know. Or are they going to leave something inside me that's not supposed to be there? Like a sponge or a, you know what I mean?
Sponge,
it's always
a watch.
Yeah, exactly.
Now this is not meant to be political commentary, but it is out of the books of, did they really not think this through?
I feel like you say this every week.
I have to, because it's just so silly. So this week they are rolling out, the White House is rolling out an ad about year one of the Biden-Harris administration. And this ad features a familiar voice of Tom Hanks. And so let me just play you a little bit of how it goes. The beginning is
there was always light.
a poem,
if only
part
we're
of a
brave
poem.
enough to see it. If only we're brave enough to be it.
Oh, you hear that? I think you can.
If only we're brave enough. Brave enough to live through two of the most difficult years many of us can remember. Brave enough to pull ourselves up again and again. America is the home of the brave. It's why we keep getting up, no matter how many times we get knocked down. Like with our economy. It isn't all the way back, but it's getting stronger. We may be entering year 3 of a pandemic none of us wanted or expected, but we're moving.
I was the first.
So that's just the first part of it. It's a 2-minute thing. It's going to be playing everywhere over the next few weeks. But it's Tom Hanks. Tom Hanks narrating what is essentially a puff piece for the government, our current government. Anyone who watched the Simpsons movie from 2007 immediately saw a parallel. Let me play for you, and now let me give you a setup for the Simpsons movie. Spoiler alert, but it's from 2007, so if you didn't watch it by now, you don't really care.
Yeah.
Springfield is deemed a massive environmental hazard. The EPA has sealed the entire city under a dome and plans to blow it up with a giant bomb and make a massive crater into the ground. Okay? The Simpsons managed to escape, and they are watching a TV from Alaska where they have escaped to. And this commercial comes on. Just listen to this.
Are you tired of the same old Grand Canyon?
Here we are, kids, the Grand Canyon.
It's so old and boring. I want a new one. Now!
Hello, I'm Tom Hanks. The U.S. government has lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine.
Toss my hair, Mr. Hanks.
Sure thing, son. Now, I'm pleased to tell you all about the new Grand Canyon. Coming this weekend. It's east of Shelbyville and south of Capital City.
That's where Springfield is.
It's nowhere near where anything is or ever was. This is Tom Hanks saying if you're going to pick a government to trust, why not this one?
This is not the funniest thing on the planet.
Well then.
This brings the Simpsons did it meme into the stratosphere already. My gosh, you really did go get Tom Hanks to convince the country about how great you're doing? After the Simpsons did it with those exactly. How did Tom Hanks not think about this when he was offered this role? You're like, you know what? People might make this a meme and put that other audio over this commercial and put it on the internet.
You know, a part of me really hopes that he did. And that's why he did it.
Oh, this is Tom Hanks saying, if you're going to pick a government to trust,
Why not this one?
All right, guys. The news story. This one's a whew.
Oh no, shut up. What? Hold up.
Don't read that. Don't
Hold
read
up.
the thing ahead. Scientists working on a toilet that identifies you by your butthole.
Matt, I'm not okay with it.
I know you're not. Researchers want to give the toilet a smart makeover, but we're not talking about heated seats or a bidet attachment. Take the Stanford School of Medicine, where the Wall Street Journal reports that researchers are developing a scanner that can recognize the user's unique anal print or distinctive features of their anoderm, meaning the skin of the anal canal.
Stop saying that word.
To pull it off, they installed a camera inside a toilet bowl and used machine learning algorithms to match stool samples to specific users. The system could even calculate the flow rate and volume of urine using computer vision as a Euroflowmeter, according to the researchers' 2020 paper. If you have any privacy concerns about this, the scientists say that
I have all the privacy concerns about this.
the butthole data is all stored and analyzed in an encrypted cloud server.
Analyze, not analyze.
Oh gosh, that's so funny. All told, smart toilets are having a bit of a moment right now. Sonia Grego, the co-founder of Coprata, a Duke University affiliated psychological monitoring startup, wants to revolutionize the way we do our business by scanning samples of your poop and urine for health indicators, including chronic diseases and even cancer, which a lot of people are using this word. Hold on, let me allow it.
A lot of people are using this word. Let me allow it.
Oh god.
Yep, exactly.
But anyway, this is actually pretty cool. Not the other one, but this one that we're talking about, this specific project, is setting up toilets that can actually like really analyze your samples for diseases. Like it can be a pre-screening for a disease.
No, I am not taking any part of this story seriously now because you keep saying analyzed and all I can hear is analyzed, and then you talk about your sample and all I can think is, yeah, it's my crap.
It is indeed. Another company called Toy Labs took it a step further with its TrueLoo smart toilet seat, which collects an even broader selection of biometrics. What do they weigh? How are they sitting on the seat? Founder Vic Kashyap told The Guardian the seat can analyze stool samples using optical methods, looking at things like the volume, clarity, consistency, and color. These are mostly aimed at older folks. It's essentially understanding when someone has abnormal patterns, and then it's capable of documenting those patterns and providing reports that can be used by physicians to help in the treatment of a variety of conditions. But as most Internet of Things devices, a major question looms: where does all that data go? Many users wouldn't, for very good reasons, like cameras pointing up at their bottoms. Phil Booth, the coordinator of Med Confidential, told The Guardian, collecting data on stool and urine samples gives out a lot of personal information, down to drug use, illicit or prescribed, and intimate health details. One worrisome scenario is that insurance companies could get a hold of the data and start offering preferred treatment to those who are otherwise healthy. Once you start to measure something that is of the body, the privacy line is stepped over, Booth told The Guardian.
You think? Good grief. Listen, I used to look in toilet bowls before sitting on them to check for, like, you know, snakes. There's always that fear, like, there could be a snake in my pipes that as I'm sitting and peeing, it's going to jump up and bite my butt. Now I'm going to be looking for cameras inside of toilets before I sit on them, especially. Thray asks, is this for like nursing homes or doctor's offices? I'm especially going to be looking for them in doctor's offices. I will never trust a doctor's office toilet ever again. They're going to give me a cup and ask me to go give a sample, and I'm going to be like, no, that's okay. I brought my own porta potty. I will go.
You'll be hovering over the sink instead. That's what you really want.
Yeah. I don't trust your toilet.
Welcome to the new world.
Listen, I already know that I have problems with stomach and digestion issues.
You have
Listen,
problems.
yes, I do.
You have bigger duties
Hold
in the
on.
morning.
Hold on.
I mean, we did record that, right?
Yes, we did.
Most duties
We
have
did.
gotten bigger in the
We
mornings.
did. No, they haven't. Anyway, my job
duties have lightened up.
responsibilities have gotten bigger in the morning. Anyway, listen, you're sitting over there talking about how it can be used for medical purposes and giving statistics and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. All that I can sit over here and think is, yeah, I already know that I have problems. Okay, well, I'm going to get this report that says cannot function and poop properly. And I'm going to look at it and go, well, no crap.
Oh, gracious.
Literally. No.
Oriel's trying to find your quote. Do not eat children. Eat the children. Oh, there's a lot of fish in the sea. There it is. My duties have been getting larger in the mornings.
My work responsibilities. Why didn't I say work responsibilities? Why did I say duties?
Because it was one of the best clips that's ever come out of the show.
Whatever. Can we end
I
this with
slowly
the
realized
verse?
what you said. Did you hear what she said, everybody? An 80-year-old woman was being held hostage by a lunatic, and her daughter saved her life because the mom hadn't sent over her daily Wordle score.
There you go.
So this is actually not the B. Let me open up the actual article here. This comes from The Hill. And it says, an Illinois woman was saved from a man holding her hostage in her home after her daughter suspected something might be wrong when she had not sent her Wordle update. Denise Holt, 80, had been held hostage for nearly 17 hours last week after a naked man broke into her home in Lincolnwood. The man, who was not named, reportedly entered Holt's home, dragged her around the house, and disconnected her phone lines before locking her into a basement bathroom. She said, I didn't think I was going to live. Her daughter alerted police to check Holt's home on Sunday night when she realized that Holt had not sent her score for the daily word puzzle and did not answer the phone. I didn't send my older daughter a Wordle in the morning, and that was disconcerting to her, Holt said. When local authorities arrived on the scene, they discovered a broken window and found the suspect on the second floor of Holt's home with multiple knives. He was naked with multiple knives? Guy lives dangerously. They were able to safely remove Holt from her basement, and she did not sustain any injuries. The suspect was detained and placed into custody on Monday morning. He has been charged with home invasion with a dangerous weapon, aggravated assault against a peace officer, aggravated kidnapping while armed with a dangerous weapon, and more. Wordle, a puzzle game, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. You still playing Wordle, Mo?
You know, I am, yes. However, the last couple days, yeah, go ahead and read that. Read that.
KY says, I'm thinking it would be pretty easy to disable a naked man. Well, she's 80. Give her a break.
Still, that's a lot of years of experience there to figure out. Anyway, the last couple days have just been so insane that by the time I get in bed, I'm like, oh, I didn't do Wordle. I'm not doing it now. There's no way I'm going to make it. So I'm sitting here thinking, like, I send the Wordle to Topher, I send it to Chris, and I send it to my friend Allie. None of them cared enough to think that I was being held hostage, that I didn't send it to them for the last several days.
Bubba says not sending a Wordle is now grounds for filing a missing persons report.
Or, at least calling in for a wellness check. So.
Thanks for that, Lark Silver. Oh, yeah. I mean, it has become very quickly a standard thing for most people to do.
Yeah.
My wife and I send it to each other. Bubba posts a thing every day on his Facebook, and 1,000 people comment their scores on it. Like, it's a communal thing for as long as it's going to last.
So I even have to tell you, there was a night last week when I don't remember what I was doing. I was having to do the taxi taking our kids back and forth and to and from everything. Chris and I alternate nights of the week where we taxi our children around. I will be so glad when my boys can drive. But Chris was sitting in the chair and was down to his last guess and could not figure it out. And I had just come in really quick. He's like, babe, have you done the Wordle? And I said, no, why? I can't figure it out. And so I walk over to him and I look over his shoulder and I look at the letters that he's already used and I tell him the word. And he's like, oh, thank God. I didn't have to have an X out of 6.
Yeah.
And so then I kicked myself because I didn't even do the Wordle that day, but
But you had already figured that out. You could have had a 1.
I know. Sheesh.
I had my first miss the other day. It was
Really?
very sad.
So did Topher.
And it's because I got, and it happened today too, which today, recording day being Friday, is I started, the word that I start with gave me both vowels
Yeah.
in the right spot.
Okay.
And so I guessed 5 other words. None of the letters
Yeah.
were in those words. Not a single other yellow or green.
Yeah.
And I got it on the last one. Thank the Lord. But the one a couple days ago, I did that exact same thing. Like
Yeah.
I had 3 of the letters, but there were so many different choices.
You never
What could it
realize
be?
how many words have the same letters except for one letter. You know, it was, I don't remember what the actual word, possibly shake. What was it?
I don't remember what mine was.
Thursday night, last night. I actually did it last Thursday. Anyway.
But I know it had gotten down to where I literally only had 2 options left and I picked the wrong one.
Lovely.
And I'm like,
Great.
but I was a trooper. I still posted my score and I took my lumps.
Yep.
I hung my head in shame.
Yeah. That's how it was with shake, though, because I did shake, or I did shape.
Shame, shape,
Shape, shame, share, shave.
shale.
It was finally the very last guess, and I'm like, oh, please, 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 please. Shake. Yes, okay. Yay.
Dad tries to make kids log off, accidentally takes down town's entire internet.
Hey.
The dad in a French town of, do you know how to say this? Messanges?
I don't see it.
Messanges?
Oh, yeah, it's messengers.
Messengers.
No.
Messengers. Took some extreme measures to prevent his
There you
children
go.
from going online by shutting down the entire internet and cell service of 2 local municipalities with a single jammer. It may sound like a hilarious faux pas, but the father now faces up to 6 months of jail time and a fine of $34,000.
What?
For the significant outage. Jamming telecom frequencies is illegal in France. Mobile carrier alerted the French agency Nationale des Fréquences,
Hey, you did that really well.
the national broadcast regulator, to the odd disturbance, leading to an investigation. All the unsuspecting father wanted to do was get his kids off of social media between midnight and 3 a.m., presumably so they could finally log off and get some sleep. But his multi-frequency jammer may have been a little too powerful. ANFR technicians showed up at the man's house in a mobile lab vehicle, trying to figure out what the heck was causing the disruption. He would have gotten in trouble if he were in the U.S., or he would have gotten in trouble if he were in the U.S. as well. The Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, notes that federal law prohibits the operation, marketing, or sale of any type of jamming equipment that interferes with authorized radio communications, including cellular, personal communication services, police radar, and the Global Positioning System, GPS. After all, jamming devices can prevent you and others from making 911 calls, emergency calls, pose serious risk to public safety communications, as well as interfere with other forms of day-to-day communications.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but good grief. How many years?
6 years.
6 years and $34,000.
$34,000 fine.
That is
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No. 6 months. 6 months
Oh.
of jail time.
I mean, still though. Man, that I don't know.
That's just half a penny.
Let's just have a penny.
Just half a penny.
No biggie.
Just
I
doing
mean,
half a penny up in the French pan. The French pan.
French pin. Okay, yeah.
The penalty shot. Hey!
Okay, you say it like that, and it makes it sound like not such a terrible place.
Right?
It's a vacation.
I'm going to the Pinata today. I'm going to spend the glorious 6 months.
Oh, man. All right.
I'll be...
Are you okay?
I'll be getting my croissants from the commissary.
You good?
Splitting them with my, how you say, bunk mate. His name is Jacques. News story of the day. Man loses drastic amount of weight in protest after Taco Bell removes his favorite menu item. I mean, if you're going to have a reason. A Taco Bell fan has reached a weight loss milestone after committing to exercising every day in protest of the removal of one of its menu items. The dedicated man has documented his journey on TikTok, where he immediately makes the reason for his protest clear in his username, @StuffedNacho. The TikToker began his journey last January, where he shared a video to document day one of exercising every day until Taco Bell brings back the grilled stuffed nacho.
I don't...
For those unfamiliar with the product, grilled stuffed nacho consists of a flour tortilla wrapped to resemble a nacho and stuffed with beef, cheesy jalapeno sauce, red tortilla strips, and sour cream. It was last available in May 2015, meaning it's been nearly 7 years since the customer could get his hands on one. But Stuffed Nacho evidently never gave up hope, so much so that he decided to launch his protest last year. More than 400 days later, Taco Bell still does not have the grilled stuffed nacho on its menu, and Stuffed Nacho, @StuffedNacho, is continuing his exercise every day. He's racked up more than 300,000 followers on the platform and shares videos of himself working out on the treadmill, the leg press, and the pull-up bar, among other exercises. And throughout his journey, he's lost an impressive amount of weight. Just last year, he celebrated a milestone in his journey. He is... Wow. Okay. Sorry. As he shared the video showing his transformation along with the caption, "I'm finally under 200 pounds, first time in over 10 years. Like, the before and after picture, it's quite drastic. Mm-hmm. Quite drastic. Mm-hmm. Pretty inspiring. But what happens if they bring back the grilled stuffed nacho?
That's the thing. I don't feel like this was the right way to go about protesting.
Let's see here. Stuffed Nacho looked to have a breakthrough earlier this year when he revealed that a Taco Bell branch had actually catered to his desires and created a grilled stuffed nacho just for him, and he made clear the result wasn't the end of his journey. After sharing footage of himself devouring the meal, the TikToker explained, "People seem to think that just because Taco Bell made me a grilled stuffed nacho, that means our mission was accomplished. But if you look at my videos, I never said I would exercise every day until they gave me one. I said I would exercise every day until they brought it back, and that means for everyone." So while @Stuffed Nacho is plowing on with his mission, and the grilled stuffed nacho is still very much absent from the menu, the TikToker has been encouraged to keep it up by followers. I mean, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool, but again, I don't think if he really wants it back on the menu, I don't think this was the right way to go about it.
I don't know.
Taco Bell is going to be a total jerk if they bring it back to the menu, and then this dude is like, "Okay, I'm done exercising now."
Give him a Taco Bell black card with unlimited free grilled stuffed nachos.
That's the thing. This is like, there is no winning for Taco Bell in this situation. Am I the only one that sees it that way?
No, because, I mean, this is getting Taco Bell publicity. He loves this menu item so much that he's devoted to losing weight. I don't know until he gets it back. It still puts Taco Bell in a I love this Taco Bell for one reason or another kind of position.
Yeah, sure. No, but like the whole point is for Taco Bell to
bring it back.
They
can't do it without ruining the...
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean?
There's not an easy, clean
Taco
win.
Bell brings back this item, and the dude's like, "Cool. All right, I'm done exercising now." And now this TikToker who has become healthy is now not going to exercise, but is also going to eat probably a whole heck of a lot of grilled stuffed nachos. And it's going to be all Taco Bell's fault.
I get it.
For bringing it back on the menu.
I get it. Maybe they just bring it back for a month. And give him a month off.
The dude needs a Mo in his life. I'm just going to say that. He needs somebody like me who's going to be like, bro, what's the goal? What's the goal here?
I think he's very clear what the goal is. He wants his grilled stuffed nachos back.
But when it comes back, your butt better remain in the gym because you've come too far. You can't give it up.
Just give him a month. Just Taco Bell, bring it back 1 month a year. Give him 1 month off.
Matt, you and I both know all it takes is a couple days of not doing something.
I don't know what you're
when
talking
we're
about.
like,
I have perfect self-control.
Deuces. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
This is...
And that brings us to our dilemma card that we're going to build.
So today's blue dilemma card to add to our future expansion pack of Sunday School Answers is exercising every day until Taco Bell brings back blank. This is and
now it's time for SSA News.
we're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right, here's your story. A teen bakes grandpa's ashes into delicious cookies and shares with all her friends. Grandparents. They embarrass us in front of our friends, and they make delicious cookies. Sometimes that's thanks to years of experience. Sometimes it's because of a secret ingredient that makes a family recipe unique. About 2 weeks ago, 2 students at Da Vinci Charter Academy in Davis, California treated their friends to a batch of delicious homemade sugar cookies. One of the students asked me if I wanted a cookie. I figured, it's a cookie, why not? Described student Andy Knox to local news outlet KCRA. I took a bite of it and she told me there was a special ingredient. I was like, is this a weed cookie or something? And she said no. So what's the secret ingredient that gave the baked goodies their mouth-wateringly gray sandy crunch? She said it was her grandpa's ashes, Knox explained. And then she kind of laughed. Knox wasn't the only student who had one of the alleged cremation cakes. A total of 9 students have told police they were also given a cookie. And some even say that they knew about the morbid ingredients before they ate them. One apparently quite happy grandpa chomper told BuzzFeed News the cookies were a bit too granulated. I don't think the ash incorporated well. Ash is ash, doesn't matter where it comes from. It really isn't that big of a deal. Outside of the gross out factor, authorities say that there's no reason for alarm. No students have gotten sick after eating the cookies, and the school has issued a statement assuring parents that their children are safe and there's no health risk. It's still unclear why anybody would want to bake their own grandparents' ashes into a cookie and share them around the school. As we all know, humans aren't that nutritious. Do we all know that? And unfortunately, we'll probably never know for sure whether the budding baker's story was even true, since her ash brownies were apparently so popular that none were left for tasting. So that was just a play on hash brownies. These were cookies. Nevertheless, police believe the claims are credible, and the student responsible was suspended before returning to school, according to her school friends. Although the police have been investigating, no charges have been filed, partly because the law just doesn't know how to deal with such a bizarre incident. I really don't think it fits in any crime section, Davis Police Lieutenant Paul Doroshev told AP News. Although one obscure California law does make it an offense to mishandle human remains, according to Doroshev, this isn't what the law was intended to stop. Thoughts?
I'm never going to be able to make resurrection rolls with my children again without thinking about cremation cookies. I'm just saying. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is sneaking my grandpa's ashes into the cookies I make, just like Peepaw would have wanted. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
I don't know where we are.
The SSA News portion of the show prep.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right. New product from Dyson. Dyson headphones that come with an air vacuum for your mouth. Look at, first of all, I know on the podcast you can't, so Google it.
No, you saw it.
It looks like...
It looks like Bane. It looks like Bane.
Kinda, yeah. It looks like a bicycle helmet where they've taken out the visor portion.
It looks nothing like a bicycle helmet. It looks like Bane.
I'm sorry, motorcycle helmet. Motorcycle helmet. Minus the visor.
Okay.
Sorry, a bicycle helmet.
It looks nothing like a bicycle helmet. I don't know what you're talking about right now.
Stop talking. You sound like an idiot. Thank you. Dyson has taken its first step into wearable technology with an eye-catching pair of over-ear headphones that come with an air-purifying mouth visor. I don't like that it's called a mouth visor. Best known for vacuum cleaners, Dyson has diversified in recent years with products such as fans and hair dryers. The headphones, dubbed Dyson Zone, are designed to tackle the growing issue of air pollution. One reviewer said that they would definitely turn heads in the street. That's because you kind of look like a robot. Britta O'Boyle, deputy editor at a gadget publication Pocket Lint, wrote, "Their design is certainly eye-catching. The sound quality was excellent," she told BBC News, and the headphones had a lovely construction. But as she had been unable to test the product outdoors, she could not say how effectively it would purify air or how silly you would feel wearing it in public. The headphones are set to go on sale in autumn. We don't expect them to be cheap, O'Boyle added. The noise canceling headphones come with a motor, fan, and air filters in each ear cup. Air is sucked in through those filters in the ears, capturing allergens and pollutants such as nitrogen, sulfur dioxide, and brake dust. And the purified air is then channeled to the nose and mouth via the visor. So it's not purifying your air, it is purifying the air coming to you. Which, okay.
No. How many of us were so much more sick when we were wearing our masks?
But it's now we're all going to wear these and we will never breathe in anything bad. It'll all be caught in our little ear filters. You don't look like you are impressed with my answer.
The second we all take off this stupid Bane-looking contraption, we're all going to catch some sort of virus that our bodies 10 years ago could have safely and healthily fought off, but now we are going to die from it.
You were merely adopted by the air pollution. I was born in it, molded by it.
Exactly! Exactly! What? Why does anybody think this is a good idea? If any of our listeners are like, this is awesome, best idea ever, I'm terribly sorry. I'm not trying to offend you. I think this is dumb.
Only when you have breathed in all of the car exhaust fumes, then you have my permission to die.
This...
Oh gosh, there are 4 purification modes depending on whether the wearer is walking down a street or sitting down. The headphones uses sensors to track breathing and exertion and then toggle between the modes. So that's pretty cool. It does it automatically. They also come with an app that lets users specify their location and determines when the filter needs replacing. A face covering comes with, a face covering comes that slots into the visor, so you can have a full-on helmet covering up the whole face.
I know that our listeners can't see this, but our Twitch friends just saw the most massive eye roll that I think I've ever given. At least in my 30s. I've not given an eye roll that big in the last 7 years.
The product has 4 hours battery life in low filtration mode, according to Pocket Lint, or 1.5 hours in high filtration. So you got to walk somewhere. You got to be quick about it. Get back into that.
I'm so
That office. Safe
I don't
zone.
remember who it was, if it was Brother Maud or if it was Gabigan, but one of our very wise listeners and friends a few months ago recently said it's not whether or not we can, it's whether or not we should. And this is one of those situations where no, we shouldn't. There's just no reason for it. It's not necessary. It sounds cool. Everything that it's able to do is really awesome, pretty stellar. But guys, it's going to kill us. I'm not even kidding. Why am I, someone who is not college educated, someone has no like medical background whatsoever, why am I the one that's like, this is not a good idea? Where are all the doctors of the world who know how these things work? Why are they not standing up and saying, hold production, we're not putting this out? Dyson, not a good move.
My face hurts.
I don't get it. Why?
Oh god. I think you're really going to be disappointed with where the world is at in 10 years.
You're right. I'm never going to actually get to be a grandmother.
Oh, Amo. Watch the movie Moonfall.
I don't want to. I don't want to. Is it going to make me feel terrible?
It's all about how AI winds up killing us.
Okay, so
It's
are you going to
beautiful.
replace my TV when I throw my remote at it?
No, watch it on like an old laptop you don't care about. That's all I'm going to read of the story. You can find out more at bbc.com if you want to read all about it. They've been working on it for 6 years though. Like it's long before COVID. They've been working on it.
Guys, please don't go read it. Please. Because,
Don't let them brainwash you. This is not a good thing.
well, and then on top of that, like every time that we click on it and somebody reads it, like that fuels the fire of, oh, people are interested in this product. No, the heck we're not. We're not interested in it. We don't want it.
Let's read our card for the day.
Oh, that's right. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion pack, or a future expansion deck of Sunday school answers is living in a dystopian sci-fi movie. This has been SSA News, sponsored by backrowgames.com.
And now it is time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build...
Oh, sorry. It started without me.
That terrified me. We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack. Oh, man. That really did scare me.
So Pusha T
Push it. Oh, no.
joins with Arby's to drop a diss track on McDonald's. I'm not even going to read about it. I'm just going to let you hear it. Let's go.
I'm the reason the whole world love it. Now I gotta crush it. Filet your fishes, then you should be disgusted. How dare you sell a square fish, asking us to trust it? A half slice of cheese, Mickey D's on a budget. Arby's crispy fish is simply it. With lines round the corner, we might need a guest list. Eggs is stage left, the sandwiches taste fresh. A little cube of fish from a clown is basic. Say less, this argument is baseless. Drowned in tartar, that filet-o-fish is tasteless. See, Arby's only deals in the greatness. I bet the house on it like it's Vegas. Look, I could sell water to a well. How could you ever think I'd fail? Yeah, the crispy fish sandwich blazing trails. The mother clown's just too frail. Yeah, if you know me and you know me well, our fish is gonna tip that scale.
This is a paid advertisement brought to you by the unrivaled, the unparalleled Arby's.
Isn't that fantastic?
I'm not hating on it at all.
That's fantastic.
Not even one bit.
That's a great diss track. But seriously, Arby's. What? Who's? Why? Their advertisement strategy actually has been very unique and very nerd centric for the last couple of years. Like every ad that you see, like on Facebook or whatever, is usually them using like Arby's packaging or Arby's food to build some sort of homage to like a video game or an anime or something, you know, nerdish out there.
Yeah.
Which has been really neat. They've done stuff for wrestling. They've done different pop culture things, and it's always shared all over the place because of how cool it looks, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is just another one of those brilliant ad campaign ideas that's going to get shared massively just because whoever thought there would be an Arby's diss track on McDonald's, let alone that the topic of that would not be about McDonald's broken ice cream machines, that it's about their fillet of fish.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, I love it, though.
I agree. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School answers is Pusha T's Arby's themed rap album, We Have the Beats. This has been SSA News, sponsored by backrowgames.com.
Arby's, we have the beats.
Answers pack.
All right. Have you ever been offered a job and they're like, so you're going to have all these responsibilities, but we're not going to pay you?
No. And that's considered an internship.
Right.
Not a job.
Well,
Hey, that's motherhood.
Well, UCLA is under fire for offering a job listing for an assistant adjunct professor that says the Department of Chemistry and Biochemistry at UCLA seeks applications for an assistant adjunct professor on a without salary basis. Applicants must understand there will be no compensation for the position. Now, this happens. Like, there are jobs, sure. But when you look at the requirements for this job, it starts to look a little suspect. Responsibilities will include teaching according to the instructional needs of the department. Qualified candidates will have a PhD in chemistry, biochemistry, or equivalent discipline, and have significant experience and a strong record in teaching chemistry or biochemistry at the college level. Yeah, they expected you to have a doctorate, and they're still not going to pay you.
I feel like they should have just put in the job description seeking someone who simply wants to see us grow.
Well, I mean, essentially the kind of like justification that they are putting out is like, imagine the prestige you will have being able to say that you were an adjunct professor at UCLA.
No.
It's the same kind of mindset as like if you have a friend who's an artist and you're like, hey, can you draw me up this really complex thing that you would normally charge someone $100, $200 to do, but do it for free? I'll post it on Instagram. Imagine the exposure you'll get. Like, that's the kind of terrible mindset that we have, that people who do the job don't deserve to get paid.
Yeah.
Because you're going to give them some sort of exposure. You're going to tie their name to something great, as opposed to just paying them the money that they tried to, build this skill up for, or go get a freaking doctorate for.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so the reaction has been not pleasant. Angry emails have flooded the inbox of the chemistry department at UCLA. And, of course, Twitter has been all over it. It also required 3 to 5 letters of recommendation from people. So it's like, we know we're not going to pay you, but you need to still prove you can be here, even beyond the fact that you have the PhD and the significant experience. We still need at least 5 people to tell us that you're worth it.
Worth what?
Yeah,
Worth
exactly.
what? Like,
so apparently
What's the cost that they're losing? Nothing. Legitimately, you can hire Joe Schmo off the streets and he doesn't have to show up every single day. But at the end of the day, sure.
the job's not getting done the way that you want it to be done, but you're also not losing any money. So find somebody else.
Let's see. Helena Worthen, co-author with Joe Barry of Power Despite Precarity, says this is merely the most recent example of the sale of prestige in higher education in exchange for people's labor. The zero compensation gig hire gets to put assistant adjunct professor at UCLA on their business card and CV, and that's the reward. Up until now, unpaid adjunct assignments have been mostly limited to prestigious private universities, but now it's showing up in the public higher education as well. So apparently this has been going on in like the Ivy League for years. Just, I can put a Harvard professor on my business card. I mean, anyway. Yeah. Crazy stuff. Crazy thing.
So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is paying my employees with exposure and prestige, but no money. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right, guys.
Guys.
So everybody knows that during the peak of COVID, China was very forthcoming with their death tolls, having reached a peak of like 16 a day and then back down to like 0 for 6 straight months. 0 deaths. Period. 6 months. So whatever they were doing was great, but apparently it finally came all crashing down because they are having a hard time over there, which is, I mean, in and of itself, not a laughing matter. The issue comes with the way the government is choosing to keep people under control. And this is by sending out drones and even those robot dogs that we've seen.
Yeah.
With megaphones attached to them, saying, everyone, don't sing songs on your balcony, and control your desire for freedom in one soul. Control your soul's desire for freedom. But literally, if you go watch that clip of the dog with the megaphone running around through the streets with this message being blasted, it gives you the creepiest AI future vibe yet.
Lovely.
Like, I'm just, no.
What was that? Can you do that?
During the pandemic, we request that you strictly abide by COVID-19 restrictions and related guidelines. Control your soul's desire for freedom. Do not open the window or sing. This increases the risk of COVID-19 transmission. So they want to discourage the camaraderie that they had in, what was it, France?
No, it was Italy.
Italy. I was close. Somewhere over there.
Listen, the Italians would not appreciate you saying that. Ooh, watch
they're
yourself.
all in that one area.
No. You better watch yourself. You better watch yourself, friend. That's why they say peanut instead of Pinot.
Oh, I thought it was peanut. What were you doing? So, yeah, drones have been flying over Shanghai's districts, prompting some posters who filmed the videos of the drones to call it a glimpse of Cyberpunk 2077. The dystopian video game that took forever to come out. It's much worse over there right now than it was ever over here. And I can guarantee you nobody over here is going to do nothing about it. But that's politics for you. And we've got our answer card for today.
You're not allowed to say things like that. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is curbing my soul's desire for freedom. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com. Shut your face.
Now it's time for SSA News. Let's get out of that sadness bubble before we let it overtake us.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
Okay, so there's a man in Germany who has received 90 COVID-19 shots in order to sell forged passes.
Okay, is that his real arm?
No, this is the arm of somebody, like some 80-year-old, 87-year-old man.
I was about to say.
The 60-year-old man allegedly had himself vaccinated against COVID-19 dozens of times in Germany in order to sell forged vaccination cards with real vaccine batch numbers to people not wanting to get vaccinated themselves. The man from the eastern Germany city of Magdeburg, whose name is not released in line with German privacy rules, is said to have received up to 90 shots against COVID-19 at vaccinated centers in the eastern state of Saxony for months until criminal police caught him this month. The German news agency DPA reported Sunday. They didn't capitalize DPA. The suspect was not detained but is under investigation for unauthorized issuance of vaccination cards and document forgery. I mean, why wouldn't you get arrested for that? Like, you just, like, those are actual, like, government documents, right? Like, that's messing with, like, federal. Maybe it'd be different if it was in America. I don't know. He was caught at the vaccination center in Eilenburg in Saxony when he showed up for a COVID-19 shot for the second day in a row. Police confiscated several blank vaccination cards from him and initiated criminal proceedings. It's not immediately clear what impact that approximately 90 shots of COVID-19 vaccines, which were from different brands, had on the man's personal health. So we don't know what it's going to do to him.
I mean,
but like,
the only real question I have is, has he had COVID?
How many times has he had COVID?
No, that truthfully, this is the person that we need to be figuring all of the COVID stuff out on, like what's going to work and what's not going to work.
There was on the show Community, they did a couple years. They did a fake flashback episodes where it was set up like you were going to see clips from previous episodes, but it was really all new material from stories that we didn't see the full thing of.
Okay.
And in one of those, it's Pierce, who was Chevy Chase, sitting on top of a bookcase, just stabbing himself with a bunch of like flu vaccines, whatever. And the main character, Jeff, saying, "Those were for the children's hospital," or something like that. And he goes, "I'll be a living God." Just yeah, I'm like, yeah, I mean, is that how this guy feels? 90 shots of COVID, there's no way it's getting into me.
That is exactly how he feels. Yep. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is taking my 90th COVID vaccine and still not developing superpowers. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackrowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right. He who smelt it may have dealt it, but when she didn't scent it, that left her tormented. Brazilian superstar Polka says she was hospitalized with severe stomach pain after holding in her gas too long around her boyfriend.
This is a real thing.
At first reported by News Hub, the singer shared the ordeal with her 15.7 million Instagram followers in the now deleted posts. She said, "I woke up at 5:30 a.m. with severe stomach pains and ended up in the hospital. But that's it, guys. I'm fine now. Just an accumulation of trapped farts." Puka said that she was inspired to ignore her gastrointestinal distress by a medical advice video on TikTok, which she now regrets. Girls, don't be ashamed to fart in front of your guy, Polka says, because what's really embarrassing is not letting your guy sleep because you're in discomfort, going to the hospital with your guy, and then getting a diagnosis of trapped farts. This girl had a fart attack. She added that she would be wary of natural gas buildups in the future, writing, "From now on, I'm letting it rip, guys." We have lots of questions, including but not limited to what kind of diet would do this to a person? Is she struggling with some sort of underlying gastrointestinal disorder? And what is the exact medical term for a fart attack? But if you find yourself in need of a discreet way to express yourself, we do have an answer. There are plenty of of fart muffling pairs of underwear you can buy online.
I don't believe that at all. I feel like the person who came up with fart muffling underwear is a lot like myself and just thinks...
It's just a megaphone.
It's exactly all it is, yeah. They have come up with a way to magnify your fart. Uh-huh.
Oh, man.
Yep. So today's white answer card to add to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is a fart attack.
This has been SSA News.
Sponsored by backrowgames.com.
I feel like I get the need to read that line every time. I don't know
time.
why. I always take a breath, ready. No.
But it's not your spot.
But this time I didn't stop myself.
Take your seat on the answers pack.
All right. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Some dudes in Massachusetts got busted by police after they tried to steal 500 gallons of cooking grease using an armored vehicle. Some crooks rob banks, others commit insurance fraud, and some of them simply can't resist when they see several hundred gallons of greasy used fry oil just sitting there. 3 men from New York are out on bail after police said they stole more than 500 gallons of used cooking grease from several Salem restaurants. Salem police said they arrested the 3 men last week for stealing the used cooking grease at a value of estimated $1,000.
Interesting.
Yeah. On Friday, about April 1st at 5:40 in the morning, our dispatch center received a call from a witness over at Salem Marketplace over on Route 28 who observed 3 men in a van with ski masks, Salem Police Captain Jason Smith said. And when we came upon them, they drove off quickly. The van, which was a modified armored car used to support the weight of the grease, was later spotted by police in a nearby gas station. So here's an interesting thing. And most people might not know this had they not watched The Simpsons. But that used cooking grease is actually that valuable. That is about $1,000 worth of cooking grease because that stuff is used for many other things, including like makeup and even some kinds of biofuel. And so this is like a legitimate crime. But it's got to be pretty easy to do if you have the right setup. It doesn't take much thinking because every restaurant has a big grease like dumpster in the back next to the actual dumpster where they pour all that grease in, and a truck will come by once or twice a week and suck it all out. You just need like a shop vac or whatever and get it all sucked up in there. I remember.
Listen, I have like 4 jars of bacon grease in my pantry.
Go sell it. I don't know if we have a thing
right
here
now. Because that's the thing. Like, what do you do with the grease? You cannot put it down your garbage disposal.
You're supposed to put it in jars and throw it away.
Well, but I feel bad throwing the jars away. I don't want to throw my glass jars away.
Sorry for you.
I know. So I just store old bacon grease and
Forever.
bacon grease, not baking grease. Bacon.
You can use, I think some people use tin cans, old tin cans. Fill those up and throw them away. You don't need those.
Back when coffee used to come in cans all the time.
Yeah. Can't do that now with the plastic ones.
Yeah, no.
Eat right through it. But anyway, yeah, the Simpsons episode was exactly that. Is Homer Simpson had found out that stuff was valuable. And so him and Bart would just take the family station wagon and pump the back end of the station wagon full of grease from the school's cafeteria that they would get, like, crawl through the vents to get to and mess up the car and then go sell it.
Well,
so as with most things in life, Simpsons did it first.
I was about to say.
So that brings us to our blue dilemma card.
The dilemma card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is, did you know that leftover cooking grease is resold to make blank? This has been SSA News, sponsored by backrowgames.com.
And now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right, so if you have ever gone to pull up a movie on Netflix where there's a dog centered in the story, the first question you might ask is this dog going to die at some point in this movie? Because a lot of you don't want to see the dog die.
Yeah.
But you won't know until you watch the movie. Until now. because there is now a website called, where's it at? Does the Dog Die? That's a simple question. DoesTheDogDie.com, which is a crowdsourced website for all your movie-based triggering needs. You can go on there, type in the movie you're about to see, and see if the dog will die. In fact, it'll list all the animals in the movie and tell you if any of them die. I pulled up a couple different movies to test this out, that I knew if the dog died or not, and it was 100% accurate. And I think this is a good service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Depends on, I mean, Mo loves seeing dogs die, so she doesn't mind. She's just ready. Whatever it is, that dog goes out, stays in, she couldn't care less. Because she knows it's a movie. It's fake. But those of us who have a harder time shutting down our emotions might want to know.
I'm Stone Cold Steve Mostyn. I couldn't make it work.
Stone Cold Steve Boston Terrier Killer.
It's sad because I've got two of them, and there are some days where I really would.
Let's check and see if you're going to live on this website. Does the dog die?
Boot you straight to the backyard.
Yeah, they got to do new personalized section on the website where you can flip a coin for your own dog. Does the dog die in real life? Flip a coin and find out.
Yeah.
All right. You live today, Craig.
That's just what we play the wheel of enormous proportions for. We ask the wheel those questions.
So this article is actually a story about how this family really wished that they knew this thing existed before family movie night, where they were looking for a good movie where they could just have a happy, good time, and they picked 8 Below. Story about a pack of sled dogs who find themselves forced to survive on their own in Antarctica for 6 months, and trying to talk their son into it. The son immediately asked, "Do the dogs die?" And the dad said, "Probably not." And the wife chimed in with a firm no. Of course not. And 2 of them do. 2 of them die. And the son doesn't trust them anymore. So, yeah. I mean, I get it.
I totally get it.
I get it.
Totally get it. Yep.
My kids were interested in watching Bambi the other day. I'm like, no, you don't want to watch that movie. I promise you, you'll learn in 10 minutes that you don't want to watch that movie. But anywho, that brings us to today's white answer card.
The answer card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is weeping uncontrollably at the end of Marley and Me.
Weeping uncontrollably.
This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com. You shut your pie hole.
And now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right, so today is actually kind of like an update because we shared this story originally as this was beginning. There was a lawsuit, you might recall, going forward, claiming that Pop-Tarts misleads people into thinking that they've got just a full-on filling of healthy strawberries in that thin layer on the frosted, cake dessert that you're eating for breakfast.
Uh-huh.
When in reality, there is other fruits in there as well, typically apples or pears, because those are mixed with all fruits. Same thing in most juices as well, because they tend to help amplify the flavor of the actual fruit that you're trying to showcase. The same thing happens in cheese with provolone. Provolone is often added to a lot of different cheeses because it tends to amplify the flavor. So that's what they do. It's not really not really like a money saving thing. It's not like they're trying to stretch it out. Like, that's just how this stuff is done. And so the lawsuit has come to an end. So Listen, let me get to what the judge said. Sorry, it's recapping all this. The lawyer representing the case was Spencer Sheehan, who is presumably the world's most opportunistic lawyer, having filed more than 400 lawsuits related to misleading advertisement. Sheehan told NPR, "I guess I've always been the type who would become annoyed and never liked it when companies cheated people for small amounts if it would be difficult to recoup." But the judge dismissed the lawsuit in this case because people aren't that dumb. Okay, well, some people are, but we're speaking generally here. Judge Carter in the case wrote in his ruling, "No reasonable consumer would see the entire product label, reading the words Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tarts next to a picture of a toaster pastry coated in frosting, and reasonably expect that fresh strawberries would be the sole ingredient in the product." So that's where, I mean, it's if you have the time and effort to take a product that has existed now for decades upon decades and decide, I'm going to pick a fight with them over the fact that there was some pear in my strawberries that I didn't taste and didn't notice until I read the packaging where it is clearly listed, then maybe you're opportunistic as well, because this didn't seem like a real case to begin with. Like, I didn't buy the outrage from this customer in the first place.
Yeah.
Like, why do we do this? Why do we allow this stuff in America? Some of these things just need to be thrown out before they're even in front of a judge. Like, no, that's stupid. But then we're in America, and that would get ruined immediately.
Yeah.
That would be, so I guess I get it.
Yep.
I get it. It's your right, I guess. But
You gotta fight for your right to have Pop-Tarts.
Fun fact, the frosted strawberry Pop-Tarts have less calories than the unfrosted strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Well, what do you know?
Because there's more fruit filling in the unfrosted.
Interesting.
Anyway, that brings us to today's white answer card.
The answer card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is Frosted Strawberry Pop-Tarts with melted butter on top. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
Hey, you like meatballs?
Actually, you know, I love meatballs.
You love Swedish meatballs?
Yes.
As much as the next guy?
Probably not.
Well, Justice and Christine Leinbold, as in like a judge of Sweden's Supreme Court, may sit on the highest court in the land, but she's not above some petty theft.
Oh my goodness.
At least that's what the judge in her case decided. Justice Lindblad. Wow. Swedes, get your act together. Was fined 50,000 kroner, which is about $5,200, for stealing the equivalent of $170 worth of groceries over the course of 2 separate grocery runs in December. She did not deny the facts of the case, but denied that it was intentional. I would have accepted the excuse of unintentional shoplifting as a lapse in memory. She is 67 years old after all, but the same thing happened twice in the span of 1 week, and that's just unacceptable. So she stole a lot of meatballs. She also stole a Christmas ham, cheese, sausage, and other delicious holiday treats back in December. When confronted by supermarket staff, witnesses said 67-year-old judge told them, "You do not know who you are dealing with. I'm a judge in the Supreme Court." When any, either celebrity or person with any kind of power says, "Do you know who I am?" or something along those lines, I want to punch them in the face. That is one of the most irritating phrases in the English language.
Even more so than I'm kind of a big deal.
More, yeah, much more. because that's just basic arrogance. This is arrogance with the belief that because you have something to be arrogant about, everybody else needs to bow down to anything you're doing, right or wrong. Okay. And I hate it. I hate it so much. The justice resigned in February after reports over the investigation came out, which puts a kind of pitiful end on her very distinguished career of 20 years on the Supreme Court in Sweden. So that brings us to today's White Answer Card.
The answer card will be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School answers. Bribing a judge with Swedish meatballs.
Who'd have thought it'd be that easy?
This has been SSA News, sponsored by backrowgames.com. Hey, and I've also got a bonus white card that we're going to be adding. Ready?
Okay.
Offending an entire country with 5 words.
What were those 5 words?
Swedes, get your act together.
All right, so here's the story.
Ooh.
Florida man watches Spider-Man No Way Home 292 times, setting a world record.
Okay.
Just think about how many times that really is to sit through a near 3-hour Spider-Man movie.
You know, good on him.
All right, here's the story. Some Marvel Cinematic Universe fans will take their movie viewing seriously, but none as seriously as one Florida man who watched Spider-Man No Way Home a record-breaking 292 times in the theaters.
In theaters.
Ramiro Alanis broke the Guinness World Record for most cinema productions attended of the same film after watching the new Spider-Man film for 720 hours, the equivalent of 30 days. Between December 16th, 2021 and March 15th, 2022.
Wow.
And in order to qualify for the record, Alanis had to watch the movie in theaters and independently of any other activity. This means he could not check his phone. He could not sleep. He could not even take a bathroom break while the film was playing.
Wow.
Guinness also said the film must be watched to full completion, including the credits. Of course, Alanis, being a true Marvel fan, was already accustomed to sticking around through the credits because Marvel has made us do that now. Mm-hmm. Alanis had to submit every ticket stub from the movie for consideration, along with a statement from the theater attending after each viewing, confirming he watched the film in its entirety. He says he watched Spider-Man No Way Home in back-to-back screenings for 3 months until his movie theater stopped showing the film. For the first few weeks of the film's release, Alanis watched 5 screenings every day.
What? What? Does he not have a job? I mean, for real.
He told Guinness that the late night showings were the hardest as he experienced headaches after having already watched the movie 4 times during the day. I mean, yeah. This is not the first time Lannis has held this record. In 2019, he received the award after 191 viewings of Marvel's Avengers Endgame. Before Alanis, the record belonged to an Australian woman who watched the Queen biopic Bohemian Rhapsody 108 times in early 2019. In 2021, Alanis' title was temporarily usurped by Arnaud Klein, who watched the film Camelot, first installment premiere volet, which is, I'm assuming, a film from a foreign country, 204 times, but he got his record back. Lannis told Guinness he decided to attempt the record again in honor of his grandmother, Wani, I guess? Wani, mm-hmm. Who died in 2019 before she could see him earn his record title. Aww. Oh, she was my #1 supporter, and I want to remain the record holder. For her, I'm assuming. So yeah, the last thing here, he spent an estimated $3,400 on movie tickets over those 3 months. No mentioning like how much he spent on food or drink. I'm assuming he had to eat there, right? If you're there all day watching 5 installments of Spider-Man, you're eating popcorn and, that weird movie pizza for your meals all day.
Nachos, Pickles.
Hot dogs. Those giant hot dogs that have probably been in that thing for a week.
Oh my gosh.
They don't go bad.
Mila gets pickles every time we go to the movie theater. And
yeah, I feel like Eli's going to be that way.
Yeah.
We've only gone one time with him and it was a disaster.
Why?
Oh gosh. We went to see Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yeah.
Blindly, like I hadn't seen it beforehand. And I don't know if you remember Wreck-It Ralph 2, but it ends with like a bunch of zombie Wreck-It Ralphs forming into one giant, monstrous, horrific Wreck-It Ralph.
No, I don't remember that.
All the bodies of Wreck-It Ralph moving, and it's disgusting. It's the worst thing ever. It terrified me, and he started crying in the theater. I'm like, yep, let's go. Sorry about this, kid. I'm going to pre-watch every movie from now on. So bad. So bad. Anyway, that brings us to today's Blue Dilemma card.
Oh, the dilemma card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is, I broke the Guinness World Record for blank for 30 solid days. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
Oh, Mo, we know you love your birthday, right?
Uh-huh.
Well, there are some people that just don't like birthday parties.
Okay.
And there's a man who didn't want a work birthday party who ended up suing his company for $450,000.
Okay.
Here's the story. When someone says a birthday celebration at work would trigger distress, employers might want to put the cake and balloons away. The Kentucky man was awarded almost $500,000 after he sued over a series of events that started when he told the supervisor he didn't want a birthday celebration at work. According to the news report, supervisor at Gravity Diagnostics forgot to pass his request on. The party happened and a panic attack ensued.
Oh, no.
In the lawsuit, Kevin Burling said he warned his supervisor that he suffers from anxiety and a party would bring back distressing memories of his parents' divorce. According to Fortune magazine, Burling had a panic attack over it on his August 7th, 2019 birthday and was so upset that he went to his car to finish his lunch. A day after the surprise party, Burling was called into a meeting to discuss his reaction. He said he was criticized for the way he acted, and this confrontation triggered another panic attack. Burling's attorney described the meeting in an interview. Let's see here. Burling said one of his supervisors started reading him the riot act and accused him of stealing other co-workers' joy. The lawyer said that when Burling started employing coping techniques he'd learned in therapy, he was asked to stop. His company sent him home and told him to not come back for a few days, and later that week he was fired by email. His company gave fear that he would become violent as the reason for his dismissal. The company claimed that they were worried about Burling being angry and possibly violent, the lawyer said, even though he has no history of violence. Basically, the company fired him for having a panic attack. They made assumptions that he was dangerous based off his disability and not off of any evidence that he was violent.
Wow.
So he sued for disability discrimination, suing $300,000 for emotional distress and $150,000 for lost wages. The trial lasted only 2 days. The jury awarded him all the money. I mean, guys, take that kind of stuff seriously. If I say I don't want a party, don't give me no party. Okay? Okay. Mo wants a party.
I don't have $450,000 to give you, just FYI.
Are you throwing me a party? Don't
Maybe.
Throw me a party.
I'm going to throw you a party.
Don't throw me no party.
You'll be the only one there, but I'll throw you a party.
So this brings us to today's white answer card.
The answer card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is stealing my coworker's joy. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackRowGames.com.
It's outside for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
Professional baby namer charges couples $10,000 to come up with names.
Shut up. Can I do this, please? That's my dream job.
According to the Daily Mail, Taylor A. Humphrey, a 33-year-old from New York, is raking in thousands of dollars by choosing baby names. Humphrey is the founder of What's in a Baby Name, a boutique consultancy that takes the pressure off parents when it comes to naming their new bundle of joy. Humphrey offers everything from tailor-made lists to a full-service baby naming concierge.
Oh, my word.
Her services start at $1,500 for a custom list of options, but can cost much more depending on the job. Humphrey said that for $10,000, she will come up with names that are on brand with a parent's business. If you look at the most popular baby names, it's such a telltale sign of our cultural values and our aspirations, she told the magazine. Humphrey, who also works as a doula, goes above and beyond for her clients. The names Humphrey picks out aren't at all random. They're usually inspired by answers given by the parents via a detailed questionnaire. She also spends hours and hours conducting genealogical investigations to find old family names. The last year alone, she has named more than 100 children and has counseled parents throughout the entire process. Recently, she came up with the name Parks for a couple, and it had the sweetest story behind it. The name was inspired by a town called Parker, where the couple had their first kiss. Parks.
Why not Parker?
Why not Parker? That's a name.
Yeah.
Parks is a place you go to play and fly kites. There's even a situation where Humphrey talked a mother out of changing her daughter's name. The little girl's name was Isla, and the mother was concerned that people would keep mispronouncing it. Humphrey was compensated for convincing the mother to stick with a name that was already chosen.
I'm pretty sure it's Isla.
Is that? It says Isla.
Yeah.
Did I mispronounce it?
Yeah. Yeah.
It might be. But anyway, she didn't even choose a name, and she still got paid for it. No, your name's good. That'll be $1,500. She said the name regret has become more common in recent years. In a TikTok video, Humphrey discussed the reason a parent might end up regretting the name that they've chosen for their child. Still, she doesn't believe in mistakes when it comes to naming your babies. So if she doesn't believe in mistakes for naming the baby, then you could name the baby anything and it's not a mistake. So why does your job need to exist?
Are you done with this story?
It's making you mad?
No. Yes. But for a reason that I need to explain.
Okay. I mean, that's essentially it. Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm pretty certain that I was around the age of 9 when my first direct cousin was born. I have a lot of step cousins, but when my mom's brother had his first child, actually it's his only child, and I did this. I was at my grandparents' house for the summer that my uncle's girlfriend was pregnant with my cousin, and I wrote out a list of names for them. Like, made a baby name book. And in that book, I had Clarissa from Clarissa Explains It All,
Heck yeah.
Obviously. And Jean, because Jean was our grandmother's middle name.
Yeah.
My cousin's name is Clarissa Jean. They chose from that book that I wrote them. They owe me $1,500.
At least.
I'm just saying.
$1,500.
And I feel like there should be like payment for, she's now like way into her 20s. She's carried that name for 20 something years. There should be payment for that also. I'm just saying.
Listen. What are they called? Royalties?
Yeah, right? This was my business.
That's hilarious. So that brings us to today's white answer card.
The answer card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is paying a stranger to make my major life decisions for me. This has been SSA News, sponsored by BackrowGames.com.
Now it's time for SSA News.
We're going to share a weird news story with you and build a white answer card for a future Sunday School Answers pack.
All right. Dublin Airport got 12,272 noise complaints last year from just one person.
I've been to that airport.
One person was responsible for 9 in 10 of all complaints about noise from aircraft using Dublin Airport last year. The complainant lodged over 12,000 complaints during 2021 at an average rate of 34 a day.
Sounds
34
about right.
complaint calls a day. Reports from the individual accounted for 90% of complaints received by the airport operator about noise from aircraft taking off and landing in Dublin. That's almost double the 6,227 complaints that the same individual filed in 2020. This is even though the total number of aircraft movements at Dublin Airport last year was only up to around 10%, to almost 91,000 as the air traffic continued to be affected and reduced by reduced international travel caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The unidentified complainant, who is understood to live in Ongar, northwest of Dublin, has been largely responsible for a dramatic increase in complaints filed with the EA since 2019. Before that, they were receiving around 1,500 noise complaints a year, but last year's total was 13,569. However, the figure would have just been 1,296 if the cases filed by this one serial complainant were excluded. As the number of flights had returned to pre-pandemic levels in 2022, the same individual has already filed a total of 5,276 complaints in the first 3 months of this year, a daily average of 59 calls.
Now with the global...
Whoa. Hey,
Hello.
you can't do ads that just are loud like that. That's annoying.
It's all right. I was louder than the ad.
Skip
We're
there,
good.
put it there. Yeah, so I won't, it goes on to more people complaining. But anyway, so already up to 59 complaints a day. What else are you doing with your life? Do you not have a job? Do you not watch television? Like 59 calls, which I know you're going to be put on hold for all of those. And to keep that up for now almost 2.5 years of daily calling multiple times a day.
Yeah.
Do you have the gumption to do anything that often? Even
No.
things that you love?
Yeah, no.
No.
Not so much.
I mean, that is one dedicated individual who is not giving up on his quest to make things quieter,
Yeah.
despite the fact he's seeing no results.
And it's not even American Airlines.
And it's not even American or Delta. It's none of those garbage airlines. So that brings us to our today's white answer card.
The answer card we'll be adding to our future expansion deck of Sunday School Answers is complaining for a living. This has
Johns
been
Hopkins University students have invented edible tape designed to stop burritos from falling apart.
This is what Johns Hopkins is doing with their time.
It's a new invention that may help some meals be less messy. Researchers at Johns Hopkins University have designed Tasty Tape. It's an adhesive that makes sure all the items inside wraps, such as burritos, stay locked inside instead of falling all over your plate.
I'm so disappointed right now.
It is made from food-grade fibrous scaffold and an edible adhesive and is safe to eat. The girl who came up with the idea, one of our team members, Erin, she was eating a burrito one day. And it was during the beginning of the semester when we had to come up with these ideas, and it was just everywhere. And she was like, you know what? This is a problem to be fixed, Senior Tyler Garano said. Tasty Tape is clear, but the researchers added blue dye to it in some of the video they exhibited to illustrate how it can be used. The creators are applying for a patent, so they aren't disclosing the tape's formula just yet. But I think that's pretty interesting. What, are you not down for this idea?
I'm
down for...
sure. Sure. This is a great idea.
Look, I try to
It's genius. However, this is Johns Hopkins University, for Pete's sake.
It's students, though. I mean, it's
one of the
students.
top medical schools in the nation. And this is what they're doing?
Yeah, this is saving all those people that have been using real tape on their burritos and then ingesting it.
To everybody who's hoping for a cure for something that, you know.
This is a cure
This
that
is
so
not
many
a
people
cure.
deal with.
This is not a cure.
Every time I
This
make a
is a
burrito at home,
solution to a
I
problem.
can never get
It's
it
not a cure.
to stay together.
And
This
it's
would be
definitely
perfect for me.
not medical at all. Not even in the slightest. I even think that down the road there's going to be somebody that we're going to have those commercials that are like, if you suffer from irritable bowel syndrome due to the digestion of edible burrito wrapper,
Burrito wrapper now.
please contact.
Now we wrap the burrito. You don't even have to unwrap it. You just eat it.
Yeah.
Paper and everything.
Exactly. I can't. Why am I the only sane person on this planet?
Old El Paso tortilla pockets, Mo. Build a burrito. You don't even need the tape. You don't need the burrito tape. This is a burrito. This is a tortilla that is shaped like a tube sock, but for meat. It's closed on the bottom. It's like a giant tall cup of tortilla. You just dump all the stuff in there. Now, you would have to just mix all the ingredients together instead of trying to layer them, right? Because you're layering them sideways instead of.
Can we move on?
Because it would just
Arby's.
Be lettuce
Arby's
on top,
is what?
Cheese.
What's Arby's doing?
Meat tubes.
Pictures pack.
Uterus-shaped cereal.
You just jumped right into that. Right in.
Promotes period talk at the breakfast table.
Up. Why are you reading this right now?
Period Crunch is a cereal being released as a PR stunt by a Swedish company, Intimina, which makes period-related products.
This is disgusting. We have to stop.
Look at the cereal.
No.
Google it, everybody.
No.
Oh, you won't actually see this abomination of a breakfast food in grocery stores anytime soon. But if you are interested in trying the bright red, raspberry flavored, uterus-shaped cereal,
Raspberry was one of my favorite flavors.
You can register
Not
to get
anymore.
a box from Intima.
This is awful.
Here's what they say.
Please, if you have a daughter that's around this age, do not order this cereal in hopes of having a talk with her.
There's no more normal and everyday as seen than the whole household sitting down together at the kitchen table and talking over a meal. And if period conversations were truly normalized, then they would be off this table or off any other table for that matter. It's essentially cereals to raise. I mean, it's a PR stunt, basically trying to, encourage talking about this stuff openly, which yes, sure. But to actually make the cereal is gross and uncomfortable.
Here's the thing. There are some things that I don't think we need to talk openly about. And I'm being very serious right now. Like, we don't need to sit down at our dinner table and have an open conversation with our family members.
I don't mean with the whole family. I meant just mom and daughter situation over a bowl.
That's disgusting. Cannon, listen, Mila is 11, so she is approaching that age. It's going to be happening sometime soon. Her behaviors have already started changing. And then Cannon, who is 15, she snapped his head off Sunday after church, just in the car for no reason. I told you, her behaviors are changing. Mm-hmm. And Cannon goes, sheesh, what's her problem? Is she on her period or something? And I was like, no, absolutely not. We do not talk like that. You don't need to know. You don't want to know. You will know eventually. There's no getting around it. But we're not talking about it. Like, you're her brother. Be quiet. I don't like that.
Ted Hall says these cereals come
like
in cycles.
Really, Ted? Probably right around the same time that the meat tube sock burrito comes out. I would imagine.
KY said maybe they'll make a placenta version so we can discuss childbirth and labor.
I'm out.
You can't get back in. Well, I'm going to finish this show. Story today. Texas man who raps about robbing ATMs is arrested for robbing ATMs.
Sometimes you've just got to go, what?
Oh, let me see. I don't want to read the whole thing, but let me get down to the thing here.
Things that make you go,
So the guy's rap name is 213 Jug God, who released a song on YouTube called Make It Home last month, in which he brags about robbing ATMs. Jugging is a slang for following unsuspecting victims to rob them. The lyrics describe robbing ATMs in different states, having thousands of dollars in the car, and praying that they make it home without getting stopped by the police. The rapper was stopped by the police in Houston, and then they mocked him on their Facebook page. Irony, when you make a rap song called Make It Home about bank jugging and hitting ATMs out of state, and then don't make it home to Houston.
well then.
So, yep. I mean, if you're gonna do these things for real life, don't say you're gonna do these things for. Does that technically count as a confession right away? If you wrote a song about doing it and then you get caught doing it,
I'm sure there's like some sort of fine print where no, that is not a confession.
It's just art.
It's not. Yeah.
All right. This company wants to pay you $2,000 to infest your home with cockroaches.
Nope. You got to pay me a lot more than $2,000. Sorry.
Cockroach infestations tend to cost homeowners money, but one North Carolina company is taking the opposite approach, offering to pay people thousands of dollars to release roaches into their homes in the name of science. The Pest Informer, a media and pest control company based in Raleigh, North Carolina, released an advertisement on its website last week seeking volunteers for a 30-day study of the efficacy of various DIY cockroach treatments. Participants must grant the company permission to release roughly 100 American cockroaches, the largest of the house infesting roaches, into their homes, and then test out cockroach treatment and then film the progress. And in exchange, they get $2,000. The Pest Informer was looking for 5 to 7 households across the continental U.S. to participate in the study. They received more than 2,500 applicants in less than a week.
Y'all have lost, North Carolinians straight up done lost their mind.
Well, no, this is across all America. They said across the whole continental U.S.
Sorry.
So I can imagine there's at least that many across the whole United States.
Okay.
But yes, they have done lost their minds. They said, we've all been extremely overwhelmed with this study. We expected to get a handful of responses, but just overnight it sort of blew up and we're struggling to keep up with the submissions. Employees initially thought finding enough applicants would be a challenge and had planned to keep submissions open through July. Now it's looking like team members will close that window shortly and spend the extra time sorting through applications. The study does have some requirements and assurances. The website specifies that volunteers must be at least 21 years old and either own the home or have written approval from the home owner. They also are forbidden from using any additional cockroach treatments during the study period, just the ones provided by them. The company promises that all of the treatments it uses will be safe for humans and pets, and that they will leave the property cockroach-free one way or another.
Okay, but are you going to replace all of my clothes, all of my furniture, all of the carpet? Like, cockroaches get into everything, and you cannot just get rid of them. They will come back.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe they're neutered cockroaches or something. I don't know. I mean, they're obviously in captivity already, right? Maybe they got a way to keep them from repopulating.
I'm just really sad that this is coming from Raleigh, North Carolina. Like, that, the state capital, for Pete's sake. Like, all of our best colleges are in Raleigh. And this business thinks that this is a good idea. I don't understand. This story should be coming from, like, Winston-Salem. That's where it really should be coming from. Not Raleigh. I've been out of the state for too long.
I don't understand the references you're making.
Making me sad.
Next story. Yes, 2 people really did fall into a vat of chocolate at a Pennsylvania M&M's factory. Two people ended up in one of Roald Dahl's nightmares or dreams, depending on one's taste, where they fell into a tank of chocolate at the M&M's Mars factory in Elizabethtown, Pennsylvania on Thursday afternoon. According to a Lancaster County dispatch, the pair were not injured but required assistance to get out of the waist-high chocolate, so a rescue crew was sent to the facility. First responders cut a hole in the tank to help get them out. As of now, Augustus Gloop has not publicly commented on the situation.
I want it now, Daddy.
Oh, man. Mm-hmm. I mean, I need to know the story. I need to know how. I can see an
Clearly
accidental
now?
situation of one person,
The rain
like,
is gone.
Getting nudged, bumped into or whatever, flailing a bit too hard and falling over a railing into a vat of chocolate. But how did two people?
That's exactly how. That person bumped her, and in her, as she's falling, she grabs a hold of his shirt and brings him with her. That's exactly how it happened. That's what I would do. You bump me and try to make me fall into a vat of chocolate, guess what? You coming. I'm not going down by myself.
This is now your fate as well. Great day for bumblebees as a Californian court rules that they are fish.
Huh? What? What?
Now, biologically speaking, bees are not fish, as the justices of California's 3rd District Court of Appeal noted in their ruling. Do not expect a bee movie Finding Nemo crossover anytime soon. However, the court decided that bumblebees can be classed as an invertebrate, offering them protection under the California Endangered Species Act. The issue presented here is whether the bumblebee, a terrestrial invertebrate, falls within the definition of fish, the judges said in their submission. Under CESA, endangered species can be birds, amphibians, reptiles, mammals, or fish. Insects like bees do not make the cut under this definition. However, the judges interpreted that it was ambiguous whether the legislator intended for the definition of fish to only apply to aquatic species. In fact, they note, the act already applies to a terrestrial mollusk.
Of course, this is coming from California. Why am I surprised?
Fish, as the term is commonly understood in everyday parlance, of course, lives in aquatic environments. As the Department and the Commission note, however, the technical definition in Section 45 of California's Fish and Game Code includes mollusks, invertebrates, amphibians, and crustaceans, all of which encompass terrestrial and aquatic species. Moreover, by virtue of the express language in Section 2067, the Trinity Besnell snail, a terrestrial mollusk and invertebrate, is a threatened species under the Act and could have qualified as such only within the definition of fish under Section 45. So they're taking things that are, while not aquatic species, still like adjacent to aquatic species and saying that they qualify under the fish category, right? Like a mollusk. But now they're saying because we went that far, we can say a bee is a fish, so we can protect the bees. So in short, bumblebees are fish if the Fish and Game Commission says they're fish, to provide better protection to them. The decision, though needlessly weird in terms of how fish and bees are usually defined, has been welcomed by groups seeking protection for insects and other conservationists. It's a great day for California bumblebees.
And teaching children just got a little bit harder.
I mean, I understand the need to protect bees. I'm just like, why can't we just change the definition of what can be an endangered species? Why do we have to change the definition of the species itself? Be like, okay, can we vote that we can put insects in here now? Yes. Okay, good. We're gonna put bees in there. Good. Why can't we do that? Why does it like, all right, you know what?
Because that is too easy.
Pizza is a vegetable and bees are fish. Here we go. All right.
It makes too much logical sense. Why would you even think that they would ever go that route? You know, people get so like up in arms about how evil and corrupt the world is. It's not until I read things like this that I'm like, yep.
This is the stuff.
This is the stuff.
Look, if they're willing to call bees fish, where are they going to stop? Okay? They've got no morals.
No, truthfully, I want for you to think about that. Like, if they are willing to call bees fish, where are they going to stop?
No, I agree.
It's not. That's the thing. It's not.
If there is one you've heard, it's probably this one. Joey Chestnut, famed food gorging connoisseur.
Okay.
Guy who eats a bunch of hot dogs every year at the Nation's hot dog thing. Had to stop in the middle of the hot dog eating contest to choke out a protester. Joey Chestnut may not have broken his own world record at the 2022 Nathan's hot dog eating contest,
But he did
might
break
have
a dude's neck.
breaking someone's clavicle.
All right.
A man dressed like Darth Vader rushed the stage at the Nathan's hot dog eating contest, right in front of Joey Chestnut's 17th dog.
Okay.
Like hot dog,
yeah.
with a sign reading "Expose Smithfield Death Star," which appears to be an animal rights issue in Utah, with a factory farm or something. Regardless of the meaning behind the protest, it didn't sit well with Chestnut, who didn't know what was going on outside of a stranger bumping into him mid-contest, so he grabbed him from behind, choked him out, and threw him onto the ground before security dragged the man off the stage. There's a video clip, but the whole clip is like 6 seconds. Like, the guy pops up, a real quick whoop now, threw him down on the ground, and he just keeps on eating. Joey went on to win easily by devouring 66 hot dogs and buns, but that is almost 10 less than his highest number.
Wow.
But almost 30 more than second place.
And choke somebody out.
And he still got through it.
Wow.
All right.
I don't really want to say that that's impressive, but
But it is. It's so impressive. All right, next up, AirPods swallowed by UK TV presenter in vitamin mix-up. All right. A celebrity in the UK accidentally swallowed an AirPod last Sunday, consuming the Apple wireless earbud along with her vitamins. AirPods are known for being small and white, and at a distance could be mistaken for a pebble or a large pill. On Sunday, one of the personal audio accessories had the misfortune of being treated as an edible tablet. Posted on Twitter on Sunday and spotted by iMore, UK property TV show presenter Christy Allsop admitted that she had just swallowed an AirPod while downing my vitamins after telling her followers, "I don't recommend it." Also said she needed to go to the hospital. She managed to throw it up. The celebrity quickly recovered from the ordeal, but added, "My throat is really quite sore." She said that the the AirPod still works, but it smells of sick. So,
listen.
Look, she posted a picture, and here I'll slide this over so you can see it on your thing. She posted a picture, and yeah, it kind of resembles pills, but it's also so much larger.
It's twice the size.
So much larger. Like, there's no way you could even start to swallow it without realizing, oh, something's wrong. But then she's like saying that she put like all of there's like 20 pills here, that she just threw them all in her mouth and started. Who eats pills like that?
I don't know.
Who swallows pills? Like, who swallows 20 pills at a time? Just throw them all in your mouth and just move them over one. Just cheek them all. Just one at a time, swallow them. No, nobody does that. That's crazy. That's crazy town. That's crazy town banana pants. I think this was some sort of stupid publicity stunt. But anyway, she's fine.
I mean, sort of.
Sort of.
So Tad says, Mo looks so concerned, and I do. But the reason that I'm so concerned is because I have 4 family members who have AirPods, and those things are disgusting. Because they're
all of them. Yeah. All kinds of in-ear buds like that, but especially the ones that are.
And tell me you clean it every single day after you. No.
You clean it when there's enough wax that it's going to fall out. That's when you clean it. how I clean my ear pods is I just take it out and kind of rub it on my jeans and then put it in.
See what I'm talking about? That is why I am like the most concerned right now. Just the thought of she threw her used AirPod in her mouth and swallowed it, wax and all.
The other thing that makes this dubious to me is that the reason that she mistaked them for a pill is because they got jumbled in with her pills. That, again, of these like 20 pills she had are just loose in her pocket. You don't do that either, right?
No.
You put pills in like a little pill carrying case. So there's no way that the earbud would have gotten
She
into
also
them.
swallowed lint.
Right.
And pocket dirt.
Pocket dirt, a key.
You know what was always the worst? When my mom would give me a piece of candy from her pocketbook.
Mm-hmm. That had fallen out of the wrapper.
I can't.
Just got to get this layer of dirt off first.
Well, and on top of that, my mom was also a smoker.
Oh.
And so little like tobacco particles would be on it. Yeah. The worst. I'm not even kidding.
Yuck. All right, Mo, this last one is going to make you cringe.
Great, because I'm
your
already
favorite.
like holding back
What's your
vomit right
favorite
now.
kind? Okay, it's not a vomit one. It's
Okay.
just you're not going to like it. I'm just going to read the headline. You're going to hate it.
Okay.
Amazon's Alexa could soon speak in a dead relative's voice. See, there's the look. Do you miss the sound of a dead relative's voice? Well, fear not. Amazon unveiled a new feature in the works for its virtual assistant, Alexa, that can read aloud in a deceased loved one's voice based on a short recording of that person. Rahit Prasad, Senior Vice President and Head Scientist for Alexa, said on Wednesday, while AI can't eliminate the pain of loss, it can definitely make their memories last. In the video played at the event, the Amazon Echo Dot has asked Alexa, can Grandma finish reading me The Wizard of Oz? Okay, Alexa's voice responded. And then instead of Alexa's voice reading the book, it was the kid's grandma's voice. We had to learn to produce a high-quality voice with less than a minute of recording. He said, we are unquestionably living in the golden era of AI where our dreams and science fiction are becoming reality. Thoughts?
As long as I'm in control of when this feature is used, I think it would be really cool.
Okay.
Because
it is kind of neat.
yeah. Oh man, I don't know how many years it's been. 2008, December of 2008 was when my grandfather passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And his voice is the one voice that I miss terribly. And so we have a home video of when I was very young that whenever I really get to missing him, I'll pop that VHS in and watch it. And just hearing his voice brings me a lot of comfort. He had a very distinctive voice. And so, and very, very specific things that he would say, you know, that I've never heard anybody else say. So to hear his voice it would be comforting.
Okay.
As long as I had to say, Alexa.
Right. You don't want it just to...
Right.
You don't
Just
wanna
out
walk
of
in the room.
nowhere.
Hello, Mo.
Yeah. That,
No, stop it. Don't do that.
He called me Knothead. That was his nickname for me, Knothead. And whenever I would walk in, he was from the mountains of North Carolina, very southern. So he'd say, hey, Knothead. Just like, super deep voice, very southern. And so if I were to walk into my house and hear him saying that, I would lose it. I would lose it. I would probably die. I'd be seeing him in heaven.
Oriel says,
instantly.
No way, that's disturbing. But there could be some pretty horrible pranks happening.
Yeah.
What if they do the voice and the personality? I mean, it is kind of amazing, though, that they'd be able to put together even if it's like 90% accurate voice.
Yeah.
Based on just like a minute of audio.
A library, essentially.
Right.
Of
That's nuts.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Again, I think it's kind of cool. In that home video, I've got my great-grandmother and my Nana and my pop, all of which passed away. So I could easily have all three of their voices. Mm-hmm. Boop.
But still, at the same time, it does. The Oriole says it's amazing, but still something feels off about it. It does feel like one of those like Black Mirror or like
Sure.
weird science fiction things where okay, Grandpa's our house now, you know, like that's our virtual assistant. Like he's gone and now he's in here. And then the more advanced AI we get
Gives whole new meaning to Encanto.
Are they really? All right. Floors.
Doors. Poppy.
Anyway. Last one. You're going to like this one, Mo.
Okay.
Chess robot grabs and breaks the finger of a 7-year-old opponent.
What?
And it's even better because it's like it's almost like the robot chose to do it on purpose. Played by humans, chess is a game of strategic thinking, calm concentration, and patient intellectual endeavor. Violence does not usually come into it. The same, it seems, cannot always be said of machines. Last week, according to Russian media outlets, a chess-playing robot, apparently unsettled by the quick responses of a 7-year-old boy, unceremoniously grabbed and broke his finger during the match at the Moscow Open. The president of the Moscow Chess Federation said the robot broke the child's finger. This is, of course, bad. So, video of the July 19th incident published by Baza Telegram channel shows the boy's finger being pinched by the robotic arm for several seconds before a woman followed by 3 men rush in, free him, and usher him away. The robot appeared to pounce after it took one of the boy's pieces. Rather than waiting for the machine to complete its move, the boy opted for a quick response, to take the piece back. The guy said there are certain safety rules for, and the child apparently violated them. When he made his move, he did not realize he first had to wait. This is an extremely rare case, and the first that I can recall. The child made a move, and after that, we need to give time for the robot to answer, but the boy hurried and the robot grabbed him. Either way, he said the robot suppliers are going to have to think again as to how it's going to handle itself. People rushed to help and pull out the finger of the young player, but the fracture could not be avoided.
I love how it's the kid's fault.
Right. The boy's finger was put in a plaster cast. Did not seem to overly traumatize him. The child played the very next day, finished the tournament, and volunteers helped to record the moves. His parents, however, have reportedly contacted the public prosecutor's office. We will communicate, figure it out, and try to help in any way we can, he said. He said that this was a coincidence and the robot is absolutely safe. The machine, which can play multiple matches at a time, had reportedly already played 3 on the day it encountered Christopher. It had performed in many opens, and apparently children need to be warned. It happens. It's all the child's fault.
Did somebody encourage that gentleman to play a round of chess with the robot? I don't understand how I guess really I do understand. I have to take into account where this was being held.
Yeah.
We're
going there. We're taking it deep here.
Yeah, I am. I love how it was the game commissioner, right?
Yeah.
It was like, this obviously is bad.
This is obviously bad. Clearly an issue.
Right.
So not quite a robot uprising, but, you know.
That's how it starts.
That's how it starts. You move too fast. Have more etiquette. That'll teach you to touch your piece too fast. You'll move slower now that it hurts to grab the pieces.
I don't even know what to say.
Pigs can breathe through their buttholes, and so could you, scientists say.
That's all that farting is. We're just breathing through our booty. Booty breathing.
Oh, man. So, new research suggests that buttholes can also help animals breathe. A team of scholars in Japan has found that pigs can absorb oxygen through the anus in studies exploring treatment for people with respiratory conditions. By pumping oxygen and oxygenated liquid through the place into the intestines, the researchers found that they could survive without breathing through their lungs. It's so impressive because we never thought of breathing from the gut, but it's possible.
But it's possible.
Last year's team of collaborators from Nagoya University Graduate School and Kyoto University's Department of Respiratory Surgery published their study focused on mice. Now they're looking to submit their research on pigs, which are closer to humans in physiology and genetic makeup. The scientists were inspired to explore the unconventional breathing method by loaches, a freshwater fish that can use its intestines to breathe. They found that in extensive hypoxic conditions, where there isn't enough oxygen available at the tissue level, the structure of loaches' gut tissues changed to allow for easier breathing. In order to see if mammals would also breathe through their anus in oxygen-deprived conditions, they tested mice first, and the findings were stunning last year. Takebe says, I'm always very skeptical about results, but it turns out every time we do the test, we can get reproducible data sets. He practices medicine at Cincinnati Children's Hospital. But he's not practicing on children.
I worry about you sometimes.
But this is kind of cool because it does have implications for treating patients who have respiratory failure. Like they can't breathe through their lungs. They can stick a tube and just pump air like a balloon.
You know.
But I mean, come on. That's not, I mean, if you could do it, if it could save a life, why not? Right? Why not? The procedure does carry a risk of bleeding and blood clots, but
Every time you say but. Every time.
As many emergency rooms saw during the early stages of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's not always possible to get your hands on a ventilator. With this in mind, Takebe thought, why not try the back door? It goes on to list the whole procedure they tried on mice and then pigs.
That's,
Oh, man. So, let's see here. In a 50-kilogram pig, when we provide this size of liquid oxygen to the butt, they can survive 30 minutes even when experiencing lethal respiratory failure conditions. So it's like a promising start. What?
I'm just reading the comments, that's all.
What are the comments? Just read Brother Mom. Derriere, more like derriere. That should be the name of the machine that pumps the air up there.
That's
the derriere.
The derriere. Haha.
Give a new meaning to telling somebody you've got butt breath. Imagine this info during peak COVID. We're sending out 5 million butt respirators to hospitals across the country.
You proud of that?
This is so funny. Oh, man.
So Oriole said, not doing CPR on that area.
No mouth-to-butt resuscitation.
So here's a fun fact. I learned that when doing CPR, they advise you not to do mouth-to-mouth anymore. You just continue with the compressions.
Why is that?
Why do you think that is? It's a COVID thing.
Oh.
Yep. When performing CPR from now on,
So
no more mouth to mouth.
don't-
just resuscitation or just chest
Don't
compression.
try and save their life because you might give them COVID.
Well, they say that studies show that the mouth to mouth
Doesn't do
really
anything?
doesn't do a whole lot. It's the
Okay.
chest compressions that help.
They're still going in the chat. Dad says the butt jokes crack me up. Rivka says it would all be for posterity's sake. Because you're all right.
I can't quite tell, just simply because of the way that our conversation has been going this morning, if trombone is being like sincere or
definitely.
like
Definitely
wisecracking.
sincere. Definitely sincere.
Just
Chest compressions are the most important part.
well, yeah, I know that they are, but the chest compressions are the most important part. I gotta agree. The chest is the most important part of the compressions. Yes.
Sincere, she says.
Sincere. Okay.
Oh, gosh. So they started that several years ago. They realized there's enough oxygen in the blood to keep the brain alive without mouth to mouth. Okay. But if there's not enough oxygen, we've got a procedure that doesn't involve the mouth. The derriere. The Department of the Treasury is now auditing the IRS after 1,250 IRS agents failed to pay their taxes.
And we wonder why our country's in debt.
I mean, there's certain jobs where you've got to do the thing that the job is there to make people do. And this is one of them. If you're going to work for the IRS, you need to pay your taxes. How can there be almost 1,300 people in the IRS who did not pay their taxes?
I mean, I feel like it's probably pretty easy. If you work there, then you're like, we'll just lose all of our forms. They can be filed into the shredder where never to be seen again. Mm-hmm. You just have to know the right person.
KY in the chat says dentist, and I don't know if she's saying, I think that's what she's saying with my job comment. Like, it's like having a dentist with bad teeth. Like, how can you trust that dentist? How can you trust the IRS if there are 1,300 people that haven't even filed their taxes?
Okay, I'm just going to say I can trust a dentist with bad teeth because I'm not about to stick my own hand in my own mouth and do my own dental work.
But
even
you're
if
going to
I
let
was a
somebody
dentist.
with bad teeth do it? Wouldn't you want a dentist with good teeth?
I mean,
You got
depends on
you got
what
a
you mean by-
hillbilly Joe dentist coming up with one single chomper in the front. Like, all right, open up and see what we can do.
listen, Uncle Freddie
What
can't
you
help it, okay? When he was growing up, they didn't tell him the importance of dental hygiene.
Like, don't chew on rocks.
That's exactly. Don't chew on tobacco.
Tad Hall says your mom is 4 years behind. I'm assuming you mean in taxes.
Oh.
If you're 4 years
hopefully
behind on
not
dental
behind.
visits, then
I was about to say,
things are going to get rough.
as long as she ain't chewing tobacco.
4 years behind on taxes, that's pretty bad. Pretty bad. They're hiring like twice as many IRS agents this year, and they're all going to have guns. So, you know.
Just tell her to apply for the IRS and she'll never have to pay taxes again.
So some of the IRS agents who did not file their taxes offered great excuses like, I didn't know how. And that some of these rehires who had been previously fired for their willful failure to properly file their federal tax returns did it again.
Wow. That's ridiculous.
I mean, it's disconcerting. Let's put it that way. Makes me feel not so great. Yeah, they don't know how. Oriel says, so they don't know how yet. They will be checking our returns to make sure we don't need to get audited.
I mean, I guess the silver lining here is that they're going to be so backed up auditing their own people. We should all be fine for a couple years.
It'll be years before Tad's mom is
right.
is audited.
We should all be fine.
Today's news stories have a theme, and it's chicken in video games.
What kind of theme is that?
Are you ready?
Is that even a thing?
We're gonna start.
I've missed out on something, haven't I?
We're gonna start with chicken, and this one might actually be familiar to KY Redhead in our chat because she sent me a meme that I'm not sure she realized was real, of a man who has been eating rotisserie chickens every day. Here's the headline. Philadelphia man doesn't recommend eating 40 rotisserie chickens due to health concerns. Philadelphia man who set himself a challenge of eating a whole rotisserie chicken, a whole one, every day for 40 consecutive days has said it has affected his health. The chicken man has amassed global attention for his dedication to consuming chicken and finally completed his 40-day goal on November 6th. He posted photos and even posted like posts on all around his town saying, "Come watch me eat this last chicken." He's documented that he's eaten it. He's gone viral. Hundreds attending that final sitting at an abandoned pier in Philadelphia.
So I need to know what the health concerns are.
Let me get to it here. A lot of filler here. But yeah, KY sent me a photo of that flyer that he put up around town. And the meme was just like, imagine like telling your wife, "Hey, I'm gonna go see a show." And it's just you watching a dude eat a rotisserie chicken. Let's see. Where are the health concerns?
I did not. I thought you were like cussing up in here.
Attendees weighed in on the spectacle. One said, "I feel like the rest of American society has turned into a kind of dystopian, capitalist, meaningless, soulless hellscape. So we've all become how do you say that? Nihilists? Nihilists? I think that's it. And something like this that's not done with a profit motive or really any meaning at all is refreshing." Another said, "There's no broader meaning here. I don't think there's anything to take out of it as far as a moral lesson. It's just a guy eating chicken." All right, so here's the chicken man told Billy Penn that he felt really gross after devouring his 40th bird. And when asked if he would do a similar challenge with a different food item, he said, "Never again, never, never again." Tominski added that he had lost 14 pounds, has frequent bouts of dizziness and achiness, and has also been experiencing cramps and brain fog. So if you have ever had the notion to gobble up a fowl for an extended period of time, you may want to think again.
Okay, I have so many questions. Did he eat anything else? Was it just the chicken that he ate?
Just a whole rotisserie chicken. That's it.
Because that could explain the health concerns.
Right. You have to have different things. You have to know.
Second of all,
nihilists. Thank you. That's what I was trying to get to. I got brain fog going on here.
Second of all, like how do we know that he didn't get a sorry for him, but that 40th chicken was just a bad chicken?
Well, I'm sure he said he was feeling bad before that. I don't think he was feeling all of that just after that one chicken.
Maybe. I don't know. I have all the questions.
All the questions.
Like, when am I going to be healthy again?
All right, so we're going to stick with chicken, but we're going to cross into gaming. Here we go. McDonald's is bringing us the McCrispy gaming chair to mark the downfall of man. This is an opinion article that's sharing this news.
Okay.
So let me see who's the author of this. Katie Wickens. She says, "I thought today would be normal. A boring Monday in the office. I reply to some emails, write a news post, and check Twitter to see if anything's popping off, only to discover the de-evolution of man has now officially begun. Our descent into apehood starts now. with the new McDonald's gaming chair, aka the McCrispy. This is a real chair, black and white chair that is emblazoned with the McCrispy logo. It features like 2 panels on the side of the chair that hold a fry holder, a drink holder, 2 dip holders, a hot box to keep your McCrispy sandwich warm while you're gaming.
No,
A built-in
they couldn't name it anything else other than a hot box.
A built-in napkin holder, and 2 reusable napkins with the McCrispy branding on it, a stain-proof leather treatment so you can enjoy your McCrispy in peace, and modular armrests to allow users to swap their McCrispy to different sides.
This thing is ridiculous.
Are you looking it up now?
Yes.
Yeah. So this is a Facebook competition in order to get this chair. So there's only going to be one on McDonald's Facebook page. It is a real palpable gaming chair that you can win. There's 4. There's only 4 in the entire world, which means we shouldn't be seeing every streamer with questionable revenue streams sporting one of these babies, though this may yet open up a terrifying opportunity for corporations to follow suit.
Also, in the image that I'm looking at, like, that's a giant thing of fries. I've never seen a thing of fries that big.
Is that the old supersize?
Maybe, but it's massive. It's like a shoebox worth of fries.
I know in Japan they have one that's like twice as wide. It's like a 2-person fry.
Yeah.
And it's huge, just full of fries. Maybe that's it. But anyway, the fact that this exists aside, why would you name it after your crappiest sandwich? Why wouldn't it be the Big Mac gaming chair? Why is it the McCrispy chicken sandwich?
The Big Mac gaming chair would have been so much better.
Right? So much better.
So much better than the McCrispy.
Like none of McDonald's chicken sandwiches have ever been great. Have ever been top tier. Never. Just avoid it.
Yeah.
Call it the chicken nugget chair. I don't care. Chicken nuggets are bomb. Go for it. I'd buy a nugget chair.
Nugget chair.
All right, and now we're going to move on just into gaming here for our last one. Oculus founder has invented a lethal virtual reality headset. You die in the game, you die for real. November 6th is the date in the Japanese light novel Sword Art Online when a fictional VR company debuts the Nerve Gear that can kill its wearer. The conflict of the novel leans heavily on the classic trope, die in the dream, die for real. Fans of Sword Art Online understandably love the Oculus Rift VR gaming system, as it's the closest thing to the book that really exists. In Japan, it's the second biggest market for the gaming system. And in that way, it makes sense that Palmer Luckey, the founder of Oculus VR, would do something on November 6th to celebrate that novel. On his blog, he posted the following statement. The good news is we are halfway to making a true nerve gear. The bad news is that so far, I've only figured out the half that kills you. The perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out. Lucky has built a VR headset that will kill you in real life if you die in the game. It has 3 explosive charges that will go off if the display shows a certain wavelength of red. So there's like, you put it on like a normal Oculus headset and there's like 3 explosive charges right here, right above your eye line. He wants to add a tamper-proof lock that will set off the explosives if you try to remove the system before the game is finished. What are your thoughts so far, Mo?
This is stupid. My thoughts are this is the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and why is he not being arrested at this point?
It's actually just a piece of office art, thought-provoking reminder for the unexplored avenues in game design. It's just a love letter to this show, or the book rather, the novel.
Okay.
But if you really, want to not sleep and think about it, what stops you from getting to that point? Like even Star Trek, which was supposed to be, represent this kind of utopian version of society, at least on Earth. There's no money anymore, and there's no wars on Earth anymore, and everybody gets along, and it's kind of like the best of humanity. Even they could program their holodecks to headphones went out again. Could program their holodecks to, take all the safety measures off and be lethal. You could die in the holodeck. Did you lose your headphones too?
No, I barely can hear you, but it could just be because my ears are clogged.
Test. No, I'm coming through.
Okay.
Anyway, even Star Trek said, set their holodecks to where you could turn off the safeties and you could die in the holodeck. Like, is that something that we're going to shoot for as a society?
No,
Eventually,
it's
the
not.
ability to really die
Listen,
in whatever game you're playing?
No. I can't. Can we move on? We're done.
What if we set it up just for the people that just for old people that are ready to go? They're like, let's go out just with one final fun video game run. Look, I'm kidding, Mo. Playing Among Us VR. Just one person left.
Oriole makes a very good point. He says it's not something we should shoot for, but unfortunately, I think it's something that could and probably will happen. Because that is just humanity.
Damn, Mo,
if Matt can't remember after all these years to mute his phone, then chances are we're going to have a video game where we die. When we die.
All right, so last week I gave us a theme. And this week is the same.
You got a theme?
New theme across all three of these. The theme is weird meats.
Okay.
You ready?
No.
All right, we'll start off easy. Woman calls 911 to report pink meat at a North Carolina barbecue restaurant.
Does it say where in North Carolina this is?
Let me see here. Dispute at a barbecue restaurant caused a beef that resulted in a customer calling 911 over pink meat. The restaurant owner responded by telling her that meat turns pink when it's smoked, so that's exactly what it should look like. The barbecue brouhaha occurred at Clyde Cooper's Barbecue in Raleigh, North Carolina last week.
Raleigh.
I feel like I was close. When a customer named Annie Cook became upset that the meat in her barbecue order was pink. She returned about 10 minutes after picking up her order and said it wasn't done. I said, "Oh, honey, that is the pink from the smoke." I said, "It's done." And she couldn't comprehend it. Apparently, it just devolved into a giant fight. What this reminds me of is, I think it was the first season of Hell's Kitchen.
Okay.
Gordon Ramsay.
Yeah.
In the first season, and I think it only happened in the first season, like the people that came into the restaurant were actual people, like actual customers. In prior seasons after that, they were like friends of the show, like people that knew what was going on and everything. In that first season, you saw a couple different interactions where Gordon was talking to customers over the serving line, which didn't really happen after that. It was just all interactions with the contestants. But a guy came up because there was, I think it was either in the steak or a burger or something, came up and said, "You trying to kill my girlfriend or what?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" He said, "It's pink." He said, "You think that's going to kill you? Have you heard of beef tartare, which is just rare hamburger or whatever, served up? Get out of here." He cusses him out and everything. But I didn't realize that wasn't really that big of a deal.
Raw meat?
Not raw meat, but just pink.
Yeah.
Seeing pink in anything but a steak.
Yeah.
For the longest time. But then even this is cooked. Barbecue meat is cooked. It just gets that pink colorization.
No, listen, if your barbecue isn't pink, then you really don't want to be eating it, especially when it's
overcooked.
Especially when it's North Carolina style barbecue. This woman must not have been a North Carolinian. She must have been from out of town. Had to have been. And I'm not entirely sure why she chose to eat barbecue in Raleigh, of all places in North Carolina. Why'd she go to Raleigh?
Well, when you're visiting a city, you don't typically go, "All right, now where in the state should we go for dinner?"
That's fair.
That's fair. However, she was just a couple hours away from, like, #1 nationally rated barbecue place. No joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pete Jones Barbecue, Aden, North Carolina.
Okay.
She should have gone. Just saying.
All right. Weird meat news story number 2. New Spam figgy pudding is the year's strangest holiday dish. Spam is releasing a product called Spam figgy pudding, and you might think to yourself, it's figgy pudding. But it's not. It's figgy pudding flavored Spam. The holiday season isn't the most wonderful time of the year because of presents and goodwill. It's because the holiday season is the most delicious time of the year. From an abundance of scrumptious cookies and cakes to grand family feasts and delicious drinks, there's no better culinary time on the calendar than right now. The more the better. However, even I have my seasonal dining limits. I know because Spam just crashed right into them. The spreadable canned meat is back with another unlikely option. The company is getting in the Christmas spirit this year by combining with an old seasonal classic. Spam figgy pudding sounds strange enough to make anyone think Ebenezer Scrooge had the right idea all along.
Figgy pudding mystery meat, Tristan says.
Yeah, that's exactly what
Yum.
it is.
It's exactly what every Thanksgiving table needs this year.
Like, I saw it and I thought, okay, they're just releasing figgy pudding because nobody really does that anymore. And it's, you know, in the carol. I'm like, okay, this is just a fun thing. We're going to release some figgy pudding. But no, it's meat.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
So gross.
Now bring us some figgy pudding Spam. Now bring us some figgy pudding Spam.
It is sold out at the Spam's web store.
Why?
You can still order some cans on Amazon and Walmart.com.
Of all the things to be sold out of. See, that's what's wrong with the world. Is that, like, these stupid things, these marketing ploys end up selling out. And then these businesses are like, man, this was a joke, but somebody actually really wants it. And so then they continue making it. No, nobody really wants this. No one.
I assume half of the people that have bought this have bought it for like an eating challenge,
a taste
on Facebook.
test of some sort. Exactly.
On YouTube or on Facebook. And then
we're not buying it.
The other half are buying it just for like to have it. Like,
display
this is such
purposes.
a weird thing that I'm going to own it forever and never open it.
No one is gladly, happily, joyfully, excitedly, eagerly eating this.
I can't wait.
No one. No one.
It's going to be a new Christmas tradition.
And I'm putting my foot down. You will not order this. We will not eat
No,
it.
absolutely not.
I won't.
I draw the line on weird meats for sure.
Okay.
Last episode? Last story from our Weird Meats news today. Mike Tyson and Evander Holyfield
Something about an ear.
have teamed up to launch Holy Ears Edible Cannabis.
Oh my gosh! Holy Ears Edible Cannabis? What the heck?
It's been 24 years since Mike Tyson bit part of Evander Holyfield's ear off in the famous 1997 fight. And a lot has changed since then. For one
like
thing,
their business partners.
A bunch of states have legalized marijuana for recreational use. 21 states and D.C. to be exact. So it should come as no surprise that it has a lot of folks trying to cash in on this new cash crop, including Tyson and Holyfield together, who have teamed up to make Holy Ears. They're just like little red ear-shaped gummies. The commercial with both of them, it's a Christmas-themed commercial, has Mike Tyson giving Evander Holyfield a gift, and it's a bag of these. And they are cherry pie flavored. And Evander Holyfield said, ears don't taste like cherry pie. And Mike says, I ate your ear. It tasted like cherry pie. And Evander Holyfield would say, well, I guess you should know. How strange is it? And cool, I guess, that this at one point very bitter rivalry, where during an actual boxing match that Mike Tyson was afraid of losing, and he bit the dude's ear off in the match. You can still see the chunk of ear taken off of Evander Holyfield. That now they're working together.
This is dumb. And even more so, like, that commercial was dumb. They could have done so much better.
The commercial's stupid, yes.
Like, let me give... I'm Mike Tyson, your Holyfield. Let me give you your bag of ears, right? Mm-hmm. You open them. You make a comment about, oh, how I'm giving you your ear back. But then I snatch them from you and I devour the whole bag. That's an even better commercial.
Yeah, I like that better.
See? Good grief.
Or just having Mike Tyson just staring at Holyfield's ear going, Holyfield's like, nah, here, have these instead.
Yeah,
something
see?
like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Good grief. I can't. I cannot.
Oh, man. And this one you might have already heard, but I just thought it was too cool not to share. David Crowder's house was used for the upcoming release of the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
Interesting.
It was used as Kevin Bacon's house. And so this is like Crowder's, let me find it. This is Crowder's like telling of the story. He said, here's what happened. We had Christmas at our house happen early this year because this is the most bizarre story. Got a knock on the door and there are these people and they're like, hey, we're with Marvel Studios and we're going to, Marvel, they make the superhero films. They like, we're with Marvel and we're going to do a Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. They told us the plot, and I'm like, okay, first of all, that may be the funniest joke ever in cinema. They said the plot deal is that Guardians want to give a gift to Star-Lord to cheer him up, and this is nothing you haven't seen in the preview for it. They think the best thing they can do is give him a person, which is Kevin Bacon. And they're going to kidnap Kevin Bacon from Earth, who they would like for Kevin Bacon's house to be, like, they want to use David Crowder's house as Kevin Bacon's house for the movie. And so he says, that sounds absolutely magnificent. Absolutely. And he said, now that means we win the game because we're 0 degrees away from Kevin Bacon. Like he was in our house.
Wow.
He did ask if they were going to blow up anything because that's kind of what Marvel Studios does.
That's fair.
But mainly because he wanted them to. He's like, what better way? What better way to be enshrined in the MCU Hall of Fame than have them blow up your house for a Christmas special?
That just sounds
right.
Yeah. What happened to your house? Oh,
David Crowder's fun. I like him.
Marvel blew it up for a Christmas special. That's all.
All right. Number 2, New Yorkers are furious as drones formed a huge advertisement for Candy Crush over the New York skyline.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Welcome to the future where drones are making ads in our everyday lives. See, we thought it was going to be like some weird virtual reality, projection.
Like a holograph of some sort.
Hologram thing. Or I think what was it Minority Report that had like moving newspapers? Like the videos played or whatever.
My goodness.
So it's going to be that. No, it's going to be these complicated drone projects, which are beautiful. They did it at I think it was Extreme Rules, WWE Extreme Rules last month. They had drones. It was an open stadium, so they had drones over the stadium making the designs for like the logos of every wrestler as they were coming out. Man, that's some impressive stuff. Like, how long before we're not doing real fireworks anymore? We're just doing like drone shows in the air.
I mean,
that's happening in a lot of cities already.
It is. Yeah. I don't know
Beautiful
how I feel
stuff.
about it. You know how I feel about robots.
But anyway, when it comes to like just an ad in the sky at night, people were pretty upset. Someone said, I think it's outrageous to be spoiling our city skyline for private profit. Another said, every single person who saw this ad and isn't a child knows about Candy Crush by now and stopped playing it 7 years ago.
That is a fact.
Yeah, the overall consensus was never do this again to Candy Crush. It had to overcome many hurdles to be allowed to fly its 500 drones. The company behind the show, called Pixis, Pixis, launched the drones from New Jersey's Liberty State Park to avoid crossing into New York, where the rules are much more restrictive. So it was like over the water in between New Jersey and New York, technically still in New Jersey, but aimed at New York.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a depressing new chapter in the age of advertising.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would have liked it. I think I would have liked it a lot.
I mean, it might would have been neat to see, but at the same time, like, I don't know.
The more it happens, though, like if it does become a standard thing, the novelty will get old pretty quick.
True. Yeah, true. Yeah, for sure.
Real quick.
Maybe they'll choose something else to advertise other than Candy Crush. Maybe
worse. All right.
Yeah.
And lastly, this airline is starting a lottery to entice people to take the middle seat with $145,000 in prizes.
Okay.
When you fly, do you like the middle seat? Do you ever get the middle seat? Are you forced into the middle seat because you're the mom?
Typically. Yep. I have to sit in the middle so that I can take care of any disputes that happen yeah. And I was going to say, I don't mind the middle seat as long as I know both people on either side of me. Mm-hmm. It's when I don't know someone on either side that I feel very awkward.
That's what this situation is.
Yeah, I figured. But like, I don't mind the middle seat as long as I can sprawl out on either side and, not have to worry about accidentally falling asleep on some random person's shoulder.
Yeah. There's no view, no easy access to stretch your legs, and never, ever any armrest space. Virgin Australia is looking to change that, kicking off a lottery that gives people who occupy that spot, willingly or unwillingly, the chance to win part of a prize pool worth $145,000. They actually kicked off the promotion with an even bigger surprise for middle seat passengers about a month ago. All, like on that day, everybody who flew in the middle seat received a ticket for a free Virgin Voyages cruise.
What?
Yeah.
I'll sit in the middle.
Right?
I'll sit in every middle seat. How about that?
So this lottery is going to run through April 23rd of next year with one winner per week. Prizes will include platinum frequent flyer status with 1 million points, a 6-night Caribbean cruise, and a helicopter pub crawl. There's a whole lot more.
What the heck is a helicopter pub crawl?
I'm assuming it takes you
from pub to pub on a helicopter, though?
Well, think about it like maybe in New York and New Jersey. Like you could hop different boroughs and whatever really quickly and get the best pub in every spot.
I feel like that is a waste of fuel.
Well, it obviously is.
To helicopter pub crawl. I mean, it sounds cool for sure, but that is the grown adult in me that is in her almost 40s. That's like, what a waste. What a waste of fuel, guys. We're not using our resources appropriately here.
I was asking if, can Southwest do that, please? I really doubt
for real.
Really doubt it. Yeah. Southwest is a more budget conscious airline, but they're fun. Mm-hmm. I always get like the really fun flight attendant, the one that's like just really, they love being there.
Well, I feel
make sure you love being there.
So I will say for Southwest, I think that that's like the biggest thing. I feel like you have to be a happy flight attendant. I've always wanted to be a flight attendant.
It would be fun. It'd be a fun job.
Totally.
For sure.
Yeah.
I have flown Southwest more than any other airline, and I don't think I've ever had a bad Southwest flight, except for the one going to our honeymoon, where Deidre and I got on the plane, sat there for an hour, and then we all had to get off the plane because they're like, well, this part of the plane is broken and there's only one tool available on planet Earth to fix it. Mm-hmm. And it's in Madagascar.
Yeah, the phalange was broken. The right phalange.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Hey, here's a question for you.
Silver says she'd be the worst flight attendant because she'd be crying the whole time.
That's fair.
What's your question?
Can I be a flight attendant and us still do this? Would that work?
I'm assuming you'd have to work on days that we record.
Can we switch the days that we record? So I can be a flight attendant. I want to be a flight attendant.
That would be fun. Travel everywhere.
It would be so fun.